Brad Rage.
That's us. That's right. Gotta love this American ride.
What do you want from me? I'm not America's sweetheart.
For goodness sake, kid. Keep your voice down. Your father's listening to the radio.
I'm not America's sweetheart.
This is the Annie Frey Show on 97.1 FM Talk.
The attack that we did, known as Midnight Hammer, had we not done that, Iran would have had a very powerful nuclear weapon within 1 month. We did it. It was great timing, but, you know, and you've been able to see that too. The other thing was Barack Hussein Obama made maybe the worst deal I've ever seen, because he gave all power in the Middle East to Iran. He went the exact opposite way, and I terminated that. If I didn't terminate that deal, they would be sitting with a massive nuclear weapon 3 years ago, which would have been used already on Israel at least, and other countries also. And we wouldn't be talking about it right now.
President Trump from the Oval Office today talking about what was at stake. Yesterday, right when the show was ending, we saw Secretary of State Marco Rubio speaking out in front. He was about to go into the Gang of Eight meeting. I don't know where that meeting was taking place. Doesn't matter. And he started talking about the lead up, kind of the how and the why of what America and Israel in partnership was doing in Iran. And Marco Rubio, he says so much. He's got a very high quality to word ratio. A lot of politicians, to me, they just talk until you're like, fine, whatever. Marco Rubio, to me, is very different in that when he speaks, it's always worth listening to, in my humble opinion. I'm not going to say that the president doesn't have a high ratio, but I'm just not going to say anything about it.
That's probably wisest.
Yeah, I think he's a great president. I think he's the best president in my lifetime, which is saying something because I'm a Reagan baby. My kids always ask, what kind of baby am I? And my son, born in 2009, December, Obama baby. My first daughter, 2012, Obama baby. My next daughter, 2016, first half, Obama baby.
Ooh, just missed it.
Molly, 2021.
Oh,
Biden baby.
no.
They're
Man.
like, how can none of us be Trump babies? And I'm like, well, I'm sorry. Just didn't work out that way.
I got one Trump.
You got
baby.
3 years, Annie.
I'm a Reagan baby. Hell no, I don't.
Right, yeah,
Neither
you
do
do.
they. No, I do not. Sorry. It's going to have to happen for somebody else. Hey, Ethan, come here. Get your wife on the phone. I joke, I kid, unless you want to talk about it. I don't know why I'm so interested in getting these kids going. Gotta have them babies.
It's just so funny that we're here.
Yeah.
This was the top of the show, and now we're here.
Yeah, Ethan's children is in my notes right here
Right,
on my notepad. President Trump, this is really important, and Fred Fleitz is going to be with us, the vice chair of the America First Policy Institute for American Security. He's a former NSC chief of staff, a CIA analyst, House of Intelligence Committee staff member. I am interested in asking him this one question. Is nuclear war anywhere a threat to the United States of America? I think we know the answer. Is nuclear war going to happen somewhere else and America is going to sit by and go, well, what is the geographic fallout, so to speak, of nuclear war if, as you heard President Trump say right there, if we wouldn't have gone in last June and blew up the different nuclear sites that they had, he said they were going to be nuclear in a month. He also said, and I'm not sure if it was in that clip, but it doesn't much matter. He said that he thinks that they would have used it already. He was talking about also, and this is a question I'm going to have for Fred Fleitz at 105 as well. The policies of our administration sure as heck seem to matter right now to people out in the streets of this country because they're protesting against President Trump's war on Iran. They have very nice signs that were made within the hour. I don't know if these people just work for sign companies or what the situation is, but they were like a whole 11 people somewhere downtown with signs that said, stop the war on Iran. And it was the party of socialism and liberation. That's what it said on the bottom of the signs. I'm like, why are our local television stations? No, I understand the why. That's not the right question, Annie. The question is, why are they covering them the way that they're covering them? Why are we showing a dozen or so protesters who have professionally made protest signs for whatever Donald Trump did next? The war on Iran is the way they coined it. When their signs say the Party for Socialism and Liberation, gosh, there's a certain way you cover that story in this country. But not the local news. Seems like for particular outlets and entities, if it's another opportunity to run just a headline that gives people license to go in the comment section, read engagement, algorithms, high fives all around, we got the people fighting in the comments. We're going to make 37 cents off of this post. When the party that is putting together some sort of protest is the Party for Socialism and Liberation, it never fails to warm the coldest place of my heart when I go on those comment sections and people are like, shut up. It actually seems as though the balance is switched now, or the pendulum has moved now over to the other side where common sense, people are feeling a little extra bold to go into the comment sections and say, no, you got this wrong. This is not how we view it. And your spoon-fed headlines to us to get us all enraged at Donald Trump. No, not going to do it. Because at the same time in St. Louis, was it Keener Plaza, there were pro-Iran liberation, if you will. I don't know what the right way to say it is, because it's not just pro-Trump, but it certainly doesn't leave out the gratitude for President Trump and the guts that he has to do what he did. Now, I started the show yesterday and I was asking you, when you're thinking about what just happened, if you're like me, if you've got a child or a grandchild that's getting a little close to that draft age. Now, just because something like this happens doesn't mean that we're going to have a draft all of the sudden. But when you've got a kid who's of that particular age, just thoughts that run across your mind. They never passed the girls could be drafted too, right? Can we check on that? I'm pretty certain that never passed, but I know that there was a push, gender equality. Girls should be drafted too. Idiots. When you're looking at what President Trump just did, all the years of my life, we have been hoping that Iran didn't do the thing. All the years that I've been alive, since the earlier 80s, 1984, Iran has been a nuisance at best and an absolute threat at worst. There are people who you know and who I know who served at the other end of whatever it was Iran was throwing at our service members during the post 9/11 world, roadside bombs, which is something President Trump continues to bring up. The way that Iran has been the state sponsor of terror in my lifetime, it's a given. The sun rises in the east, it sets in the west. Iran is going to terrorize not just Israel, not just the Middle East, but the world. They terrorized the world, but they didn't have a nuclear weapon. And President Trump, this has got to be the type of thing that a president who has access to, what amount of intel that you and I will never, ever, praise the Lord in heaven, have to see or consume or understand is part of the real reality that exists in the world, the real true evil that seeps into the darkest corners of the globe that just wants to search and destroy. The disgusting things that have been done in the name of religion, yes, from the clerics who are radical, who stem from the state sponsor of terror. What do they do if they get a nuclear weapon? All of a sudden, decade after decade after decade, they show restraint? Do they wave it around in front of everybody just so everybody knows what they have? And then, what? So people send pallets of cash to their doorsteps and say, please, please, here's our money. Here's more of our money. In fact, we don't even have this money. This is our grandchildren's money. Take it. Please don't please don't do something crazy. Because that just happened. That just happened a few years ago under President Barack Obama, and look how rapidly they ran towards a nuclear weapon. That methodology, that foreign policy, it doesn't work. And if you listen to President Trump say that they were a month away from getting a nuclear weapon, and if they would have gotten a nuclear weapon, it would have been used against Israel. Do you think we're not involved if they nuke Israel? Do you think everybody's not involved if they nuke Israel? Of course we are. And if what President Trump, hand in hand with Israel, if what they did was prevent that from happening, another Holocaust you might consider, if somebody would have stepped in before Adolf Hitler, if somebody would have had the guts to step in before Adolf Hitler did what he did, think about the trajectory of history today. If Donald Trump and his guts to partner with Israel and to go straight after the munitions and the regime, the people in charge that have decade after decade, generationally chosen this type of behavior in Iran, when the people of Iran are saying, please help us, they killed tens of thousands of their own people because their people knew that they were living under oppression. I mean, I'm assessing the situation and I'm wondering, like, what was the alternative? More please don't do that? Sit at the table and negotiate with the people who say death to America? Repeatedly? Seems like a fool's errand, and it seems like one that I guess President Trump wasn't willing to be a party to anymore. He gave him a chance. He gave him lots of chances. He gave him chances leading up to last June. He's given him chances ever since. If you're somebody who is an isolationist, if you're somebody who believes that he has to kill our American people before we get involved, I'm wondering how high that cost would have been for the price of entry to stop him from doing what we could have potentially stopped him from doing right now. Well, obviously, it stopped him. Fred Fleitz will be with us at 1:05. We'll talk more about it from an expert. I'm just pontificating. Corey DeAngelis is with us next, and he just did a space yesterday on X talking about the education system in the state of Illinois. Boy, it's a wreck. We knew this, didn't we? Yes. But there is a lot to be uncovered here, and Corey DeAngelis has been at the forefront of school choice, of pushing for the opportunity for our kids to get the education that they deserve, not the one that the teachers' unions and the Democrats think that they'll take. Corey DeAngelis will be with us, the research fellow at the Heritage Foundation, senior fellow for Americans for Fair Treatment, when we come back. Don't go away. Point Pest Control. You spell point with an E on the end. PointPestControl.com is the website. It's spider season. Gross, nasty. Don't even want to really talk about it, but here I am. But I get to talk about killing them, so it makes me happy to be here. And if you're somebody who wants spiders dead, if you've got, the remnants of rodents in your house, Point Pest Control can help with both of these things. Mice have an incredible ability. It's just disgusting to think about, to squeeze through tiny openings to gain access to your home or to your business. Once inside, they breed like crazy. And so you got to make sure that you get them as soon as possible to stop that process from happening and rid your business, your home from those rodents. Same thing when it comes to spiders. They're products that they use to mitigate your home from spiders are all approved by the Environmental Protection Agency. They can give you these treatments and they're effective without using harsh chemicals that are going to cause your pets, your kids, yourself, any sort of issues and concerns. Get rid of them with Point Pest Control. Become a Premier Service Plan subscriber like me. Mention Annie, and you're going to get a 10% discount on the top of whatever special they have going right now. 636-798-0023. 636-798-0023. Point with an E, pointpestcontrol.com.
Hey, it's Mark Cox here with my friend and trusted realtor Gloria Liu of Your Home Sold Guaranteed Realty. Gloria, we've worked together for 6 years now. You have 23 years of experience with your Guaranteed Sold program, but many don't know you also have a guaranteed multiple cash offer program for serious sellers.
That's right. Some sellers are looking for speed, certainty, and to avoid repairs and open houses. I just helped a family in December to sell their parents' estate. They chose me because I offered 4 cash offers at our first meeting, which gave them options picking the best cash offer. Whether it's multiple cash offers or my Guaranteed Sold program, my sellers are always in control to sell fast and for the most money. It's my guarantees and my buyers in waiting program that set me apart from other realtors.
Take it from me. Call Gloria Liu right now at 314-325-6888. That's 314-325-6888. Or visit GloriaHasTheBuyers.com.
Gloria and seller must agree upon price and possession date.
New tax resolution firms are popping up every day with high-paid celebrity endorsers, advertising ridiculous claims in their TV ads. That's why they have the tiny, unreadable disclaimers at the bottom of the screen. Hi, this is Lance Drury with the Lance Drury Law Firm. Our ads never have those ridiculous, fast-talking, tiny disclaimers at the end because, simply put, there are no guarantees when it comes to the IRS and wiping out tax bills. And we don't make promises we can't keep. Of course, there are ways the Lance Drury Law Firm can help resolve your tax debt, but no company can guarantee it will eliminate it. This is why their clients call the Lance Drury Law Firm when those promises don't pan out. If you have tax problems, you have legal problems, call me, Lance Drury in St. Louis, at 314-260-6120 or visit Lance, D-R-U-R-Y, law.com to schedule your free consultation with your local tax resolution law firm.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements.
Nothing makes a gathering great like Eggland's Best Eggs. They're just so delicious with better nutrition, too. For us, it's eggs any style, as long as they're the best. Eggland's Best. Better taste, better nutrition, better eggs.
You're listening to The Annie Frey Show. 97.1 FM Talk, St. Louis Conservative.
Welcome back to the Annie Frey Show. Before we get to our next guest, I'm going to read a post that he has right here on X. Corey DeAngelis posted this within the last 24 hours. Breaking, the United States Supreme Court just ruled in a 6-3 decision that California school policy keeping secrets from parents about their children's gender transitions is unconstitutional. It's incredible to hear that. It's also incredible that 3 people disagreed with that statement. Let's get Corey DeAngelis on with us right now. Research fellow at the Heritage Foundation, senior fellow at Americans for Fair Treatment, author of the book, The Parent Revolution. Corey, welcome back. Thanks for being with us today.
Hey, Annie, thanks for having me.
I want to start with that news, that top line news about the Supreme Court decision, because at least 6 of the 9 Supreme Court justices believe that these decisions should be up to the parents.
Yeah, it's a great win for parental rights and education. They basically ruled that it would be a violation of the parents' 14th Amendment right to direct the upbringing of their children, to choose their educational path, and to figure out their mental health services that they may need starting at a young age. And the thing is, California, their Attorney General, Rob Bonta, tried to subvert local control and tell local school districts that they couldn't pass policies to have more transparency between teachers and the parents, because some of the teachers wanted to tell the parents about things that were going on behind the parents' back in the school system because the child thought that they were a different gender than they were assigned at birth. Boys were thinking that they were girls. They were confused. And so a previous judge in a federal circuit court by the name of Benitez in December of last year, just a few months ago, ruled on the side of parents and issued an injunction to say that you can't continue forcing these secrecy policies in California anymore. You got to have transparency and not keep secrets from parents and tell them when their child thinks that they're having, confusion about their gender at school. And that judge, Benitez, called it a trifecta of harm. He said, this isn't just harm that's done to parents. That's obvious. They're kept in the dark, and you're infringing on their right to raise their kids. And you're basically having the government take their children away from them. But there's a second arm of harm, which is done to the teacher. What if the teacher's not on board with this stuff? And maybe they do want to tell the parents what's going on. They were being forced to keep quiet and to not have that open line of communication with the parents. And so that's obviously an infringement on the rights of the teachers too. And then third, the kids were having their rights violated because they're young, confused children that may be forced into, or at least coerced in a way, to have these irreversible sex change surgeries that they cannot undo fully. So, this created a trifecta of harm. So it's good that the Supreme Court, you'd think it'd be a unanimous decision, but we have three the usual suspects on the bench as activists for the Democrat Party saying no, that they wanted California to keep secrets from parents in the school system. It's just insane just thinking about a future, Annie, of where we could have a system where the Supreme Court is ruled by these crazy activists in the future, where they could try to violate our rights and force teachers to keep parents in the dark and to try to take our kids away. It's crazy how the future of our country kind of hangs in the balance of this final stopgap we have called the Supreme Court. We're lucky that we have a majority that, for the most part, sides with the Constitution at the moment. Yeah,
amen to that. Corey DeAngelis speaking with us right now. Just so that I have clarification, this is a Supreme Court ruling for a case that came out of California. Does this mean that if you're a teacher right now and you're in the classroom and your school district or your state has said that if a child comes to you a few weeks into the school and says, I know it says my name is Jane, but I want to go by James, and then parent-teacher conferences come around first quarter, if the school district, if the state or whatever, the state board of education says you are to keep that to yourself, you are not allowed to disclose to the parents what is taking place at school, does that mean that's now unconstitutional?
So, I mean, the Supreme Court is signaling that, at least in California, they can't have these policies to keep secrets from parents. So if you're in another state, that question will have to go through the legal processes there. But, we have this precedent now on the side of parental rights. That's why it's a good news for parents all across the country. But eternal vigilance is the price of liberty. I mean, even in California, if they continue to double down and try to keep parents in the dark, this is going to depend on parents, raising the issue and saying, you know what, we just had a Supreme Court case decision on this. You can't continue doing this. And what it really does is greenlight the ability of school districts in California to have these transparency policies. On that same note, Annie, it does not require teachers anywhere really to say anything. It's not like compelled speech of teachers. It's just saying that you can't have a policy preventing teachers from sharing this information. And in California, at least, they are now allowing these policies at the school district level to require teachers, if this issue comes up, to share that information, or at least the school district to share that information with the parents. But yeah, if you're a teacher in another area, you might have to go through the legal. We have so many activists on the bench in the lower courts. So there's a lot of this ping pong that goes on between these federal courts and then the U.S. Supreme Court. We had this problem with school choice recently. We had a decision out of Montana that went to the Supreme Court saying that if you have a school choice program, you can't discriminate against religious schools. You can't say you can have private but not religious ones, because that would be a violation of your First Amendment free exercise rights. But then Maine came back and said, we're not discriminating against religious schools for being religious. We're discriminating against them for doing religious things. And that's not the same thing, is it? I mean, so they start splitting hairs. And so we had this Mahmoud decision that came out of Montgomery County, Maryland last year, saying that parents can opt their children out of gender ideology courses. That was a big win. But then you had another state come back and say, oh, well, in our case, It wasn't gender ideology. It was gender identity in the instruction. And so it's not exactly the same. And so they start doing this weird song and dance to try to still have their cake and eat it too. It creates a lot of extra work, but ultimately, again, since we have a majority on the Supreme Court, they shouldn't have to go back and relitigate these things. Yeah. But the precedent is pretty clear. The parents are gonna win in the end.
Righteous work, certainly. My understanding is you were participating in a space on X yesterday, and it involved the Illinois education system. And I wanted to give you an opportunity to talk to us about some of your takeaways right now. You are looking at the education situation across all 50 states, and you're a huge advocate for school choice. As you know, Corey, I am very invested in J.B. Pritzker, the governor of the state of Illinois, opting into that school choice program that was passed in the Big Beautiful Bill. It's happening. There's nothing that J.B. Pritzker can do to stop the program from happening. It's passed. It's law. But J.B. Pritzker is the only person standing in front of Illinois children to benefit from the flood of school choice dollars, of voucher. It's not a voucher program, but helping public students get tutoring or supplies or all this. It's for public kids. It's for private kids. J.B. Pritzker at this point has not said, go ahead, kids, you can benefit from this.
Yeah, and the Chicago Teachers Union's freaking out right now, and the Illinois Federation of Teachers, because they remember in 2022 when J.B. Pritzker was running for re-election, he said he supported school choice, but he was always able to point his finger at the House and Senate that was controlled by union-controlled Democrats, and he was able to say, if he even told I believe the Chicago Tribune in 2023 that if a bill got to his desk to save the scholarship program at the state level for low-income kids, he would sign it. But he probably said that knowing that a bill was never going to get to his desk. And so now he no longer has that justification for doing nothing to support school choice. He can't point his finger at the lower chambers anymore because the decision to opt in is squarely in the hands of the governor. So all eyes are on J.B. Pritzker right now. I called him out in the Wall Street Journal earlier last year saying that, hey, now it's time to put up or shut up. You said you supported school choice. Let's see what's going to happen. But the Chicago Teachers Union also funneled a lot of money to a senator there named Guzman is her last name. And she's a Democrat. She's received over $500,000 from the teachers unions since 2023 alone. And it was just reported to me, and I put it on X, that she has received about $73,000 in contributions from the unions in Chicago and at the Illinois Federation of Teachers on February 2nd and February 6th. Well, guess what happened on February 6th? She filed a bill to make sure that Illinois opts out of the Big Beautiful Bill school choice program. So it seems kind of fishy, huh? She receives these big payments from the unions on the 2nd and the 6th, and on that same day files a bill to opt out of the school choice program, trying to take that decision out of Governor J.B. Pritzker's hand is what she's trying to do with that bill, basically, to try to override the decision of Pritzker. Because if he vetoes that bill, they still could override it if they have enough numbers.
Yeah.
But like you said, they're private donations that can flow into the state. And if you don't opt in, you're basically shooting yourself in the foot. And it's why Jared Polis, a Democrat, opted Colorado in, because he realized, he called it a no-brainer, because you can donate regardless of what your governor does. And so what that would mean is you can get that dollar-for-dollar tax credit, give the money to kids in Florida or Texas where they have opted in, and then whether you know it or not, that money is not going to go to scholarships to kids in Illinois. So it's all in the hands of the governor and maybe the legislature, if they have enough, if they're so set on attacking school choice that they have enough numbers to override a veto that could come from J.B. Pritzker if it comes to that.
Yeah.
That's another avenue that the unions are taking to try to stop this program.
Yeah, just another example of why the supermajority of Democrats in the General Assembly in Springfield is a disaster for this state. The education numbers, you talk specifically about Chicago now being in St. Louis right here. The Chicago public school system versus the rest of the state, they're two separate entities. But like, point to a test score that we're bragging about from school district to school district to school district, and look at where all the money is going with the imbalance of funds that go to, all of the different districts that exist, the high pay for administrators, and then the teachers who I love it when you tweet something. People need to follow you on X because you're on, especially the Chicago public system. They take vacations. They go to Vegas. They go to tropical places for conferences, and these are all funded. And the test scores right now is so absolutely deplorable in the state of Illinois. And the teachers unions are funding legislators just to ensure that J.B. Pritzker can stand in the way of these school choice dollars. Did you see? Is there any hope in the state of Illinois? Is there any glimmer of light that you see right now?
Well, the teachers need to lead the charge, opt out of the union, and defund the beast, dismantle it from the inside, because they can join alternatives like the Teacher Freedom Alliance for free, get liability insurance that's up to $2 million, more than what the union would give you, and it's in your own name as opposed to the union's name. So that's one way to hold them accountable. If you don't want your money going towards these candidates who block school choice, and to have your donations or basically your paycheck go towards Democrat campaign coffers, especially if you're a conservative, an independent, and even if you're a Democrat who doesn't want to be involved in politics and wants to focus on the basics, you got to opt out. But I don't know if you saw that story I posted the other day on the empty schools in Chicago. They have a school that's 97% empty. It's built for 1,000 kids. There's only about 30 kids enrolled there, and they have about 30 employees. So they have a 1-to-1 staff-to-student ratio. They're spending almost $100,000 a kid every year. That's about $1.3 million for a K-12 education for every single kid. I think the kids would be better off just getting the money themselves.
Amen.
As opposed to even if you give us half, give them $700,000 as opposed to it being wasted. Not a single kid has a proficiency in math in that school, Annie. It's insane. And it just goes to show you that more money is not the answer. Lower class sizes is not even the answer, apparently. If they can't even get one student proficient in math. A lot of people were like, is this a special needs school? And we looked it up. No, it's a regular school called Douglas High School in Chicago. And it proves that more money is not the answer. Smaller class sizes is not the answer. And why does it even exist? It's an empty school. It should be closed, but the union would never let that happen because they want to make their job as easy as possible, not knowing or not caring about the fact that if that school was closed, all of those fixed costs could go towards teacher salaries in other places. You'd actually benefit teachers from closing schools like this, and you'd benefit kids who wouldn't have to be stuck in these failure factories anymore.
Just real quick to clarify, last question for you. We're speaking with Corey DeAngelis, research fellow at the Heritage Foundation, author of The Parent Revolution. I just want to give you one last chance to be explicitly clear with our listeners right now, especially those listeners who might be teachers, who are teachers who they know to be quiet because they don't agree with what the union does. The teachers that I know that are still part of the union, they're such nice, good-hearted, non-confrontational people. It's just easier to go along to get along, and they're funding it. What is the union doing with their dollars?
Yeah.
And again, one more time, the place where they can go and still have the same sort of protection that they would need if they left.
Yeah, go to the Teacher Freedom Alliance. You get that personal liability insurance for free. So why, even if it's just a pure financial decision, why would you give your money out of your paycheck to the union if you can get the same service provided from the Teacher Freedom Alliance? They're having donors cover the cost. So that money goes in your pocket. Instead, the unions will tell the employees that it's a form of Stockholm syndrome. They pretend that they're necessary, and they'll say, if you don't join the union, as they're hiring these new people who don't know any better because they just want a job, right? And they want to get to work and go teach. And they tell them that you're going to get sued. The students are going to sue you, and the families are going to sue you. The school system is going to sue you, and we have your back. So join our union, and we'll protect you. They don't tell these teachers that it's only up to $1 million in liability insurance. The Teacher Freedom Alliance is up to $2 million, twice the amount of the union, and the union insurance is in the name of the union. So they can decide, oh, this is a conservative, teacher. Maybe we don't want to represent them at the end of the day. Whereas the Teacher Freedom Alliance insurance is in the name of the individual teacher. So you're definitely going to have your bases covered when you go with them as opposed to the union. But, I think it's also, like you said, they want to go along to get along. So even if they know about these escape valves, they might still feel pressure from bullying tactics. But if they can lock arms with maybe even just 2 or 3 other teachers in their school, they'll have at least a little bit of a support group, which the Teacher Freedom Alliance provides. They have, support group as well. They also have professional development. It's not just the liability insurance, but that's the main selling point that the union says why they're so necessary. And the district's not going to advertise the escape options.
Oh, no.
Secretary McMahon even said, look, teachers, and even in blue states, you don't have to join the union anymore. So the word is getting out there. And the more that we can share this news, you're going to have this kind of escape velocity. Once enough teachers jump ship, it's going to bring the unions down to their knees. And they're spending all the money on politics right now. 99% of their political contributions go to Democrats. It's a form of money laundering. Only about 9% of the NEAs, the unions' total spending, goes towards representing teachers. What in the world? You're getting your money lit on fire. It's going towards politics. It's not going towards representing teachers. And 90% of it isn't.
In the state of Illinois, it's advocating to keep kids from being able to get funds that are going to go, just like all the other exports of good things that we have in the state of Illinois, elsewhere. How frustrating.
Bingo.
Corey, you're wonderful. Thank you for what you do. Thank you for being here. We'll have you back soon.
Thanks, Annie. Great talking to you.
You as well.
Talk to you soon.
Talk to you soon. Bye-bye. Corey DeAngelis, Research Fellow at the Heritage Foundation, Senior Fellow for the Americans for Fair Treatment. Read the book, The Parent Revolution, Inspire Yourself. And teachers, I am telling you right now, if you are somebody who is part of a union that you do not want to be a part of, if you've considered the opportunity to leave, if you've wanted it and you're like, gosh, I don't have the safety net out there, it's called the Teacher Freedom Alliance, and I highly recommend it. Quick break. We'll be back in a minute. Don't go away. Stewart's American Mortgage. I want to encourage you to reach out to Stewie right now to improve your mortgage situation. It's a hot time to do it. Stewie at 314-324-4440. It's 314-324-4440. You reach out to him, phone or text, and say, I'm interested in a bagel loan, or even if it's just the discussion. I highly encourage you. Don't have to call him. He's not going to be a hard sell. He wants to help you. And that's how he is recognized, honestly, nationally for the bagel loan product that he has and the volume that he's able to do as a direct-to-you mortgage lender. When you call that number, when you text that number, that's his cell phone number. So if I'm texting him about something that has to do with my mortgage or whatever, that's the same number that I text, 314-324-4440. And the bagel loan is great because if it's a new purchase, if it's a refinance of your current mortgage, you don't have to pay any closing costs. Thousands of dollars stay in your pocket, stay in your checking account. It's a great, great way to improve your month-to-month economy situation. 314-324-4440. Google the bagel loan, NMLS number 226715.
We just talked to Corey DeAngelis. Fred Fleitz coming up at 1:05. If you missed that interview, or if you're looking forward to the next one and you can't be in the car or wherever you are, listen to the radio at that time. Get the podcast. Listen to the podcast. Every day we give you a commercial-free. Well, it's not commercial-free. It's commercial-free in the sense that there are less and different commercials in it.
What did you just say?
I was getting ready to say, well, we take it's
You
not
sound like
the
a
same.
teachers union saying we're gonna take your money and we're gonna give it to the teachers and we're gonna do that so we can lobby the General Assembly so that the General Assembly can keep the kids from getting the money. And if you leave the union, you die. Is that what you just did? For
That's
that commercial
exactly
breaks?
what I just did.
Okay. Thank you.
So
The
enjoy
podcast
the podcast
on the Odyssey app.
as you will. 12:43. This time check is sponsored by Jerry Kelly Heating, Air Conditioning, Electrical, and Plumbing.
$98 furnace tune-up.
Still leading. 97.1 FM Talk. St. Louis Conservative.
Welcome back to the Annie Frey Show. That YouTube live chat poll for today. What news story do you feel is being most undercovered? This is one where I feel like when I put it on, I already know which one you're going to say. But maybe I don't, because there's two in here, Ryan, that I think that you might pick. Obviously, the Rand story. There are a lot of people who are saying Trump went to war to cover up specifically the Epstein files. So that's one of the ones on our list. Do you feel like the Epstein files are being undercovered? I will also add that it doesn't really matter why they're being undercovered if you think they're being undercovered. So attention, kind of the squirrel mentality where something big happens and then we just, like let's say Nancy Guthrie. I could have put her as an option on here. Maybe you feel like the Nancy Guthrie story is now being undercovered. Maybe it's something that was covered so heavily at first that the undercoverage of it right now is to even things out. Here are your options. Fraud. Now, when I put fraud in there, I'm immediately thinking Minnesota. I'm mostly thinking taxpayer fraud, NGOs, all of that type of stuff. One of the other options is election integrity, and I think it was Joe earlier before the show started in the comments said, aren't election integrity and fraud the same thing? And I was like,
the misuse of money.
I said it's not.
It's a form of fraud.
But I'm highlighting election integrity as its own thing. So the fraud, I just think that we're scratching the surface, the iceberg effect of what kind of fraud has been taken place in this country, which really the Doge ball getting rolling is what has gotten us, I think, to where we are right now. I think the Doge was the crawl so we can walk and hopefully run here exponentially faster and faster as we get through Trump's term. Your options are fraud, the Epstein files, election integrity, and aliens.
Here's the thing.
Okay.
The Doge ball that started rolling.
Doge balls.
People, yeah.
There were more than one ball.
There's Doge balls and there's D's. But
balls.
Balls. But they got a lot uncovered that wasn't just
Doge
financial.
ball would be a good insult, Joe. You're right. Don't be such a Doge ball.
I like that. That may come up again in this show.
Especially when we run out of material.
They got a lot uncovered that wasn't just financial fraud. There was a lot of systemic fraud.
Mm-hmm.
The way people were
Very
getting
incestuous.
Yeah.
Yes.
The way things run internally and the way, some of it was just outdated too. They fixed some of that. The way people were getting Social Security numbers that didn't deserve them, illegal immigrants being a huge faction of that. And just a lot of that kind of stuff at the federal level was really important to find. And I think they found a lot of random ways in which NGOs were getting money that got cut off that wasn't reported a lot. So it was kind of a mixed bag of uncovering things for Doge that people go, well, it was only X amount of dollars, which is not insignificant, but they did more than they get credit for.
Fraud, Epstein files, election integrity, aliens. Jackie comments on YouTube, aliens are simply a distraction and would likely be a fear tactic to usurp more power. It's a great motivator. So I think she's saying that aliens is a cover up for other things. And I always say we talk about aliens and shootings when the swamp gets nervous and needs a distraction.
Yep.
So I would not be saying aliens. Jackie, I think you're with me on that. Go vote. Annie Frey YouTube, live chat poll, youtube.com/@AnnieFrey. What news story do you feel is being most undercovered? You might even say underserved right now in the headlines. Fraud, Epstein files, election integrity, aliens. Food news with Wiggins America next. Don't go away. HomeshieldFoundationRepairs.com, 314-271-9900, 314-271-9900. You can call Matt Hayes at that number and get the wet basement. Is it wet right now? Because, boy, it like stormed in the last 24 hours. Hadn't had that happen in a while. That rain was pouring down, and if it's pouring in your home through the foundation, you know that you have a problem. The problem is not just the annoying water that is in your basement, but it's the destruction that water is doing as it's moving through your foundation. You need to get it fixed. You know that already, but you've been putting it off because who do you trust and what's it going to cost and all of this. I can tell you who to trust. I can't tell you right here what it's going to cost, but I can tell you if you don't do something about it right now, it's going to cost more later. So call 314-271-9900. That's 314-271-9900 and get that basement waterproofed with Matt Hayes. Home Shield Foundation Repair, online right now. All the details you need at HomeshieldFoundationRepairs.com.
The Reardon Fish Fries continue. Mark Reardon here. Join me and the crew at Assumption Parish in South County this week. Details at 971talk.com/events. It's Fish Fry Fridays on the Mark Reardon Show. Hope to see you at Assumption Parish in South County, sponsored by Apache Village RV.
When it comes to planning your retirement, there's a lot to think about. Portfolio management, tax planning, and retirement income just to get started. Steve All and his team at the All Financial Group focus on those things and more. Their goal is to help you achieve your goals. Call 636-230-8824 or online, yourmoneymattersstl.com.
Investment advisory products and services made available through Impact Partnership Wealth, LLC, IBW, a registered investment advisor. Insurance and annuities offered through Steve All, NPN number 153-07419.
This is Madison County Clerk Linda Andreas. I believe in protecting our elections because every legal vote matters. I fully support the SAVE Act, which requires photo ID in our elections. And I am proud to be endorsed by all of our countywide Republican elected officials. I'm asking for your vote in the March 17th Republican primary.
Paid for by Citizens for Andreas.
Annie Frey is St. Louis conservative.
Welcome back to the Annie Frey Show. Go vote in that YouTube live chat poll. I have been promised that Wiggins America Food News is at least a 4 out of 10 segment. Let's do it. Now. How about now?
Wiggins!
This is Wiggins! Starting it off at a 4 right away.
Going just the way we planned. Yeah, this is going to be a great segment. Now, this is important food news, though.
Turn that volume up there, Brad. Just,
I don't
there you go. It's
drown
getting better
this
and
out.
better.
You're going to want to hear this. First one is that Burger King is giving the Whopper a makeover.
My Burger King story, because everybody's got a Burger King story, is that stupid song that they had playing forever that everyone used. Whopper, Whopper, Bacon, Whopper. I don't know.
Have it your way.
Oh, no, I don't think so.
That was maybe before the new ones.
They had several of those Whopper songs, and they were like an internet sensation.
Why
Kids
did they
love
stop
them.
those?
Because they were annoying as crazy.
They weren't.
I got those songs, and I played them for my son's baseball team's home runs.
I remember that,
Yeah, it was
and
fun.
I'm realizing as we're talking that they are not pushing those songs anymore.
Let's not talk about it. Moving on.
Those should keep happening. That was a genius marketing move.
Whopper,
You were playing their
Bacon,
songs at a
Whopper.
sporting event.
Yeah, the kids
For
love it.
free.
I mean, honestly, the other team gives up a home run, and they're like, oh, that's good. That's funny.
Uh-huh. So the makeover, that the Whopper is getting is that they're going to put it in a box instead of in a wrapper. They're going to have
Whopper,
Okay.
Junior, double, triple,
Whopper, Whopper, Whopper.
Grill taste with perfect toppers. I rule this day.
At BK. Yeah, you're right.
See?
Ketchup is okay if I don't want that impossible.
This guy is singing this in his car after he got his Whopper. He's just so happy.
Yeah.
Have it your way.
BK.
Have it your way. You rule. See? Why did they get rid of that? That's free right there.
Yeah.
For Burger King.
And amazing that I have it in our
I
system.
can't believe that. Because you didn't even know what I was talking about. It's not like
I
you had
never
that
know
ready.
what you're talking about, but I'm always ready.
I didn't give you a heads up at all.
No.
And you're like, oh, I got a song for that.
I got something for this.
So the again,
I'm going to play something for your next story yet, too. I'm ready.
the way that they're changing the Whopper is to add freshly cut onions and tomatoes instead of, I guess, old cut.
That's an interpretation, right?
Yeah. It's fresh? What does that mean? I don't know. No definition.
Have it your way.
Lettuce,
fresh food.
tangy pickles, and they did say better tasting mayo. So maybe they've changed the recipe of the mayo a little bit.
Wow.
But the full...
That's just an admission that it wasn't so
it
great.
wasn't great.
No.
You know, Domino's did that a few years ago. They actually came out and said, we knew our pizza wasn't that good.
We can do better.
That's why we've changed it. And sometimes that's a good marketing strategy, although I don't know if Burger King knows what they're doing, not playing their songs anymore. The biggest change, though, for the Whopper is going to be that they're adding a more premium, better tasting bun. So
I know how you like the buns.
You may actually notice that.
You guys might not realize this, but Ryan's a bun guy.
I was going to say, I am a bun guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, and many other things. Different kind of guy depending on the day. But always could be a bun guy.
He's always swinging from one way to the other. He can't be stopped. Next.
That is not the way I would have put that.
That's why I did it for you.
How do you guys feel about grits?
Ooh, grits. I don't know if I have anything for that. Just type it in
Play
here
the grits
and see.
song.
Oh, wait.
Good. I'll wait.
This is a song.
My life be like.
Oh my gosh.
It's grits.
It's grits.
Are you kidding me?
My life be like.
Is that really a grits song?
Yeah.
That's the band, man.
This is also Hayden's walk-up music.
Be freaking kidding me.
Okay.
You're not supposed to deliver on that joke.
I'm always ready to deliver. Go on.
Well,
news.
grits is a regional food, and we're kind of right on the line between having grits with your breakfast or not. The story, for whatever reason, Fox News has decided it's important to let us know that diners in Maine have discovered grits all of a sudden. It's a regional sensation. I don't mind them, but they got to be doctored up with a lot of stuff.
They got to not taste like grits. It's just like vegetables.
I just want other stuff in there too. But here's the thing: when growing up, though, my dad would make grits, but he called it mush, and that always sounded disgusting. But we would eat it once in a while. And now my wife makes polenta. It's all the same ingredients, but it's just prepared a little different.
Grits, you eat them, Brad?
Oh, yeah, I like them. Yeah, I grew up on them.
You?
No.
Even
I don't even know what they
full
taste
of
like.
cheese and salt.
Not much. They don't taste like
They don't.
much.
Yeah, they're just
on
kind of
their
there.
own. They don't taste like much.
Yeah, hard pass.
They're just kind of there. So apparently, if you grew up in the South, you grew up on grits. We are very much in the kind of the gray
Come on, give
zone
me one more
on
story. I want to see if I got something for it.
All right. Panera Bread is offering a slightly cheaper value menu now.
Just keep talking.
All right. All right. The mix and match, the 2 for whatever that you can order, the mix and match menu where you can order 2 different things. Yeah, they're just making that one. And calling it a value menu.
Yeah.
It does come with the side though.
So they're what? They're doing just the little half.
The half,
serving?
yeah. The
So
half
they're not
and half.
doing you're not picking 2 anymore.
You're not. Well, you still can pick 2, but
gonna
if you
pay
want the
double.
value version, you're picking 1.
You're picking a half.
But it still comes with the bread or the apples or the chips. That's the difference. They're calling it the $4.99 menu.
Oh, okay.
What's
I
your
have
song?
a cut from September 2025 that extra value meals are back. That's all I got.
Go ahead. You got
All
10
right.
seconds.
I was 2 for 3. That's not bad.
That was definitely not bad.
Yeah. All right. Let's talk to
Impressive.
Fred Fleitz when we come back. Iran. It's a continuingly developing story. We've got more news for you when we return. Don't go away.
President Trump calls it big-scale hitting. I'm Lisa Brady, Fox News. What's happening in Iran, where he says the Navy, Air Force, and radar detection have all been knocked out. The president also says U.S. airstrikes prevented attacks from Iran.
President Trump says he strongly felt Iran was preparing for a first strike during nuclear negotiations with the U.S., rejecting the idea that Israel forced the U.S. to join airstrikes.
Based on the way the negotiation was going, I think they were going to attack first. And I didn't want that to happen. So if anything, I might have forced Israel's hand.
That undercuts what Secretary of State Marco Rubio told lawmakers earlier this week when he suggested the U.S. was aware Iran would target American forces if Israel attacked. President Trump also says it's not clear who will emerge as a new leader in Iran following the death of the supreme leader, but first says Iran's military must be finished off.
Fox's Jared Halpern at the White House. Israeli strikes reportedly hitting a meeting of Iran's Supreme Council during voting on a new supreme leader. President Trump also saying he thinks oil prices will drop once the fighting is over. For now, as crude soars, a gallon of gas in the U.S. jumping 11 cents overnight in the AAA average. The head of Homeland Security defending immigration enforcement operations and facing some bipartisan criticism at a Senate hearing.
Why can't we just say we made a mistake?
North Carolina Republican Tom Tillis among those pressing Kristi Noem on the killing of 2 U.S. citizens during confrontations with federal agents in Minneapolis. Illinois Democratic Senator Dick Durbin.
Madam Secretary, under your leadership, the Homeland Security Department has been devoid of any moral compass or respect for the rule of law.
Secretary Noem says agents face escalating threats
as a result of deliberate mischaracterizations of their heroic work.
Also criticizing a DHS shutdown as Democrats block funding to push for ICE reforms. America is listening to Fox News.
You ever wonder why Verizon charges twice as much as Pure Talk for the same basic service? Think it might have something to do with the fact that Verizon spends $12 billion a year on advertising and promotion. That's billion with a B. Yeah, Pure Talk doesn't spend that kind of money on commercials. That's why they can offer unlimited talk, text, and plenty of data on a blazing fast 5G network for just $25 a month. Save an additional 50% off your first month when you dial pound 250 and say the words micro. That's pound 250, micro.
Hear that? That's Mike. He took ZQL Pure Z's, so now he's sleeping soundly on a Sunday night. ZQL Pure Z's are fast-acting melatonin gummies with a complementary botanical blend to help Mike get the sleep he needs to wake up refreshed and ready to conquer Monday.
Let's do this Monday.
ZQL Pure Z's, just for sleep. Really great sleep. These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. These products are not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease. Use as directed.
Mr. President, did Israel force your hand to launch these strikes against Iran? Did Netanyahu pull the United States into this war?
No, I might have forced their hand. You see, we were having negotiations with these lunatics, and it was my opinion that they were going to attack first. They were going to attack. If we didn't do it, they were going to attack first. I felt strongly about that. And we have great negotiators, great people that do this very successfully and have done it all their lives very successful. And based on the way the negotiation was going, I think they were going to attack first. And I didn't want that to happen. So if anything, I might have forced Israel's hand. But Israel was ready and we were ready, and we've had a very, very powerful impact.
President Trump from the Oval Office today talking about the series of events leading up to the decision to attack Iran this weekend. And we're going directly to our guest to get his expert thought on it. Joined by Fred Fleitz, the vice chair for American First Policy Institute Center for American Security, the former NSC chief of staff, CIA analyst, and House of Intelligence Committee staff member. Thank you, Mr. Fleitz, for being here with us today. It's a pleasure to have you back on the show.
Hi, Annie. Good to be here.
Thank you so much. One of the other things that the president said that really stuck out to me, gave me what I felt was a clearer picture of where the United States was in approaching the decision to attack in the way they did this weekend, was he said that the Iranians were maybe a month away from a nuclear bomb before we took their assets out in June, and that as soon as they had one, they would use it in Israel. And my question to you first here, Fred, is a nuclear attack anywhere on the globe immediately bringing America into the equation? Is there any way we sit that out?
I don't think so. And look, there's different interpretations of how close Iran was to a nuclear weapon. But what I'll tell you this is that last June, they had about 9 to 10 weapons worth of near weapons grade uranium. And it wouldn't have taken very long to make that near weapons grade uranium into one bomb. Now, I think it would have taken a while to actually fully fabricate that bomb, but they certainly within 6 to 9 months. Far too close for me. And frankly, just as dangerous as this huge missile arsenal they're building. There was an assumption, Trump forced a ceasefire on Iran and Israel last June. The Israelis wanted to keep fighting, but Trump wanted peace. And what did Iran do with that peace? They used it to start rebuilding their nuclear weapons and missile facilities to such an extent that they're now making 50 to 100 missiles per month. And you can see some of them are pretty formidable. They're going to run out of missiles soon. But if Trump had waited a year, Iran would have had so many missiles, including very advanced missiles, which would take more time to build, that it wouldn't be possible to roll back this program.
Well, so, I'm thinking, okay, I was born in 1984. The hostage situation in 79 preceded me. But it feels as though the entirety of my lifetime, Iran has been a threat to America, that there hasn't really been a time where we haven't been hoping that Iran won't do the crazy thing, and that different presidents have come in with different policies, different approaches to the behavior that Iran kind of boasts about and threatens. Donald Trump certainly is different. It's very heavy-handed. But have we had to spend 4 decades of learning our lesson in order to make sure that the really bad, scary thing doesn't happen and we're reacting instead of being proactive?
No, it's a very good question. We have many enemies and adversaries: North Korea, Cuba, China, Syria, although not right now, Syria. But Iran's the only one who's tried to assassinate the president of the United States, that sent operatives into the United States to apprehend and kidnap back to Iran and Iranian American journalists, a country that has sent thousands of weapons into Iraq that killed thousands of U.S. soldiers, attacked the U.S. Embassy in Beirut, a military facility in Saudi Arabia. This is a nation that's been at war with us for 47 years and has been seriously trying to kill Americans. There's assassination plots not just to kill Trump, but to kill numerous former Trump officials. So this is a nation that's been asking for it.
So when President Trump comes in, and there's a clip that we have, I'm not going to play it right now, but I'll just sum it up. It's, I think, October of the 2024 leading up to the election. He said, the first thing I would do is go in and take out Iran's nukes. He said that before he was reelected. He was on the stage saying that he would be interested in an intervention in the progress that Iran was making towards this type of weaponry. A lot of other people feel as though that President Trump said he wasn't going to get us into any new wars. So they seem as there are people out there who feel like there's a conflict in what the president said he was going to do when he was a candidate. Do you feel like there's any conflict?
The president has said consistently that he was going to keep the U.S. out of new and unnecessary wars, but he's qualified that to say that he will use military force when necessary to defend our national interests. Remember, he bombed Syria in his first term. He bombed the Taliban in Afghanistan in his first term. And he said, look, I came up with the America First approach to U.S. national security. I decide what's in it. Stopping Iran from getting a nuclear weapon is part of that approach. And there's people in the MAGA movement who disagree with him, and Trump said, tough. I came up with the strategy. This is where I am.
Fred Fleitz speaking with us, Vice Chair for the America First Policy Institute Center for American Security. How much of this is, I'm curious if the bureaucratic advisement, the people who are, leading the military from administration to administration to administration, even from Trump's first term to his second term, is the advice probably generally the same, and it's the wisdom and the advisors that come with the administrator, the president, that kind of decide what to do with that guidance being given from the people who are in the consistent know? Is it just President Trump's resolve that took the information that he had to make the decision that he had differently than other administrations, or did the status quo change?
I think the holdovers are all against this and worked very hard against it. And I think we both know that there were differences of opinion within the administration and advisors who gave the president different ways to go on this threat. And having worked for President Trump, I know that he takes in all kinds of opinions and he reads a lot and makes up his own mind. Now, the one difference between this administration and the last one is that the last administration had people like H.R. McMaster and Rex Tillerson and John Bolton who actively worked against his policies as cabinet members. That didn't happen this time. It's fine to have different opinions, but Donald Trump is the president. You don't come in with your own policies and decide you're going to implement them because you think you know better than the president. That was a mistake in the first term. That didn't happen in the second term.
So when, I'm a novice here and I'm just leaning on your understanding of maybe what it's like to be in some of these rooms and to understand all of the work and the research that goes into making these decisions. When you have the John Boltons and the other folks that you listed there in the first administration advising President Trump potentially in a different way or working against the pleasure of the president, what the administration set policy is, are they who are they serving? Are they serving themselves? Are they serving, God forbid, foreign interests? Like, where does this split allegiance lie in a situation like that where the advisors are working against what the president is trying to do?
I think they believe they're serving the country, but they also don't understand that it's the president who makes the policy. And when the president says to do something, behind the scenes, you don't decide to try ways not to do it or to slow down the progress or to withhold information from the president that might advance the policy he's trying to do. All these things happen under these guys. The biggest problem were efforts by H.R. McMaster and Tillerson to sort of go along with the president's decisions and thinking in meetings. But then when they left the room, they wouldn't implement them. And they tried to implement other policies that they didn't tell Trump about. You can read about this in various memoirs about the first term.
We're speaking with Fred Fleitz he's the vice chair for the America First Policy Institute Center for American Security. I have a lot of friends, Fred, who I graduated high school in 2002. So it was my senior year of high school when September 11th happened. So a lot of my classmates turned 18 and signed up to fight in the war on terror. And so several of them have served multiple tours over there. And I reached out to one of them and I asked, when you see this happening right now, when you see this administration's efforts to go out and just take it out, to go to the deepest part of the route and pull it all out of Iran. But then you also find out, I think the number last I checked was up to 6 Americans have lost their life in this particular effort. Like, to me, there's a part of my heart that it hurts to hear that. And I'm asking myself, if I were the parent of one of these 6 that were lost, would I think that this was worth it? And so I asked my friend who had served, and he said, I know the only soldiers I lost was due to Iran in 2007. All the way back to 2007, almost 20 years ago, people who signed up after 9/11 to serve know people who lost their lives at the hand of this Iranian regime. How do you reconcile these lives that have lost so far, knowing that number will increase?
It will, and it's terrible, but that's the cost of war. And the president knows that we will have servicemen and women who will die because of conflicts like this. We bombed about 1,000 targets in Iran over the weekend, which is just extraordinary. And we didn't have any planes shot down. But to be realistic, a plane could be shot down. A plane could fail because of mechanical problems. There's always a risk that something could go wrong. And something terrible went wrong in Kuwait when some of these soldiers died because of friendly fire. That also happens in the fog of the war. We unfortunately. Let's just pray that that's it, that there won't be any other U.S. fatalities or injuries. But realistically, if this is going to be a 4-week campaign, 4 weeks or more, there probably will be more casualties.
Do you feel like for those people who maybe they have an opposition to the American involvement in this it's predicated by, they just hate Donald Trump and Donald Trump did it. So they haven't really thought a lot about it. And they know that they hate what the president did. But a lot of people might be saying, how is this action in a foreign land? How is the price of American lives and the potential increase of that justified by these actions? Can you explain to me, Fred, why what we're doing right now is an investment in the safety and security of Americans?
Well, there are some allies of President Trump who disagree with this. They don't want to see the U.S. involved in conflicts like this. I think they're wrong. I've heard them. I mean, Tucker Carlson's one of them. Tucker's just dead wrong. And I think they're isolationists, and that's just not – I think an isolationist approach is bad for our national security. But it's clear there are many people who were supporting it, that this was for Obama doing it. They were supportive of bombing Libya in 2011, which was obviously a nation-building operation to take down a regime. They had no problem with that. Obama dropped thousands of bombs without the permission of Congress. But, this is just Trump derangement syndrome and lack of principles by Democrats. I think we can judge this by the thanks and celebrations we're seeing by ethnic Iranians around the world, in Washington, in Los Angeles, in London, in Berlin. They're just ecstatic that this evil regime, the head of this evil regime, was taken down, and a pathway was created for them to bring democracy and freedom to the country. I think that's going to be a difficult struggle. I don't know that they're going to win, but Trump has given them a chance.
Fred Fleitz, last question for you. The policy of the Obama administration, which was appeasement through pallets of cash and kind of an elevation of the Iranian role, I guess, in the world. Of course, we saw Joe Biden's administration with the heavy-handed don't that led to the Russia invasion of Ukraine. President Trump comes in, tries to negotiate, and then actually involves action instead of just, I guess, hope and dreams for some sort of change on Iranians' behalf. Is there any indication at all that Iran was looking to turn a corner, to maybe make a different decision in the coming days and weeks with negotiation with the Trump administration?
Absolutely not. They were going to drag out the talks as long as it could, and I don't think Iran's leaders believed that Trump would ever agree to attack. I think they thought they could stretch out talks like they've done for decades with Republican and Democratic administrations, even with all these naval vessels and Air Force planes being moved to the region. Iranian officials did not see this coming.
Do you feel as though the 4-week time frame is a reasonable expectation of what they have set out to do?
Well, I think there's a pretty sophisticated plan, which is why when Trump said help was on the way in early January, he didn't take any action until the end of February, because this plan had to be finalized. But at the same time, General Kane said to a Senate hearing, at a press conference this week, we have been planning this for months, but also the main plan's been developed for years on how to do this.
Fred Fleitz, thank you for the time today. We're grateful for your insight. It's an incredibly important issue, and we need the experts. We're grateful for you.
Good to be here.
Take care. Bye-bye. Fred Fleitz, the vice chair for the America First Policy Institute Center for American Security, a former NSC chief of staff, CIA analyst, and House of Intelligence Committee staff member. He has a book, An America First Approach to U.S. National Security. I'd encourage you to pick up that book and read it. Fred Fleitz on the Annie Frey Show. Back in a minute. Don't go away.
Mirror Glass and Door, simply the finest when it comes to mirrors, glass, and shower doors. You can't find better quality, better prices, or even better service than at Baron Mirror Glass and Door. Baron Mirror Glass and Door has the largest, most beautiful showroom in all of St. Louis, full of the latest, most custom designs. Our must-see showroom is conveniently located in Chesterfield Valley. We have the basics all the way up to the elite. Baron Mirror Glass and Door can't be beat.
You've been listening to the very popular Wellness One for many years, Saturdays and Sundays on 97.1 FM Talk. We're happy to share that we've expanded the show to 4 times a week. Yes, 4 times every weekend. Saturday at 10 a.m., Saturday at 8 p.m., Sunday at 9 a.m., and Sunday at 2 p.m. It's the same great show designed to cut through the nonsense and provide you a common sense, science-based strategy for a healthy life. So join TJ and Aaron for Wellness One. Now 4 times a week on 97.1 FM Talk.
Why do the national tax resolution firms need the tiny fine print at the bottom of all their TV ads? Hi, this is Lance Drury with the Lance Drury Law Firm. You don't hear fast-talking disclaimers in our ads because the claims we make are 100% transparent. The Lance Drury Law Firm primarily focuses on one thing, IRS problems, and we're regulated by the Bar Association, and we have a AAA rating with the Better Business Bureau. IRS issues are serious legal issues. The Lance Drury Law Firm has helped thousands of clients navigate the best resolution plans, and we tell you up front exactly how much it'll cost. Tax resolution law is all we do. So before you send money to some out-of-town, high-pressure salesperson, give us a call at the Lance Drury Law Firm, located right here in St. Louis. Call today to schedule your free consultation with me, 314-260-6120, or visit LanceDruryLaw.com.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements.
There's one thing I really want to say to Donald Trump. If you come for my people, you come through me.
That was Pritzker's challenge to President Trump. But who are Pritzker's people? They're the more than 1,700 illegal alien predators he helped escape from ICE. They're the illegal aliens whose health care, rent, and college tuition you pay for. You can't afford to stay because Pritzker makes you pay for his people. Well, I have a message for you, Governor. I'll be coming for you and going through you. Your days and the days of sanctuary living for your people are over. I'm Ted Dabrowski, your conservative candidate for governor, and I'm asking for your vote in the Republican primary on March 17th. Paid for by Ted for Illinois.
Vote for Ted Dabrowski on March 17th.
Hair Volume from New Nordic will make your hair look thick and healthy. Available as a tablet or delicious gummy. Hair Volume is available online at Amazon and NewNordicUSA.com or in the hair care aisle at your local CVS.
The Annie Frey Show is St. Louis conservative.
Welcome back to the Annie Frey Show. That YouTube live chat poll for you, youtube.com/@AnnieFrey. You just type Annie Frey in your YouTube app, Frey. It looks like Frey, unfortunately. The poll for today is, what news story do you feel is being the most undercovered or maybe underserved? Fraud, the Epstein files, election integrity, or aliens? Somebody out there has got to vote aliens, right?
I don't know. You tell me.
I bet the aliens do. They're hey, can we get a little love?
No, the aliens don't want attention at all.
They do.
Depending on the type of alien.
I don't think they want attention, but in order to divert attention, they got to get a little attention. They don't want a lot of attention.
Well, see, I don't think the aliens are the ones that want to divert attention. I think it's the people making aliens a story that want to divert the attention.
Only one natural follow-up question.
Yeah, go ahead.
You an alien?
No, you?
Mm-hmm. One of us is telling the truth. What do you think is the most undercover story right now, Brad?
Oh, to me, it's the fraud. Not talking about the fraud that was going on in Minnesota, and then as investigations started going, we saw it in different states. Heck, Dr. Oz has been working on fraud out in California about like hospice care and stuff like that. It is insane how much money is being ripped off, A, from the American taxpayers, but also B, from the people that actually need it, which frustrates me because everybody out there defending this fraud are the same people saying that we need to spend this money to help these people. And when you let this fraud fester, you're actually hurting the people you claim to help.
What do you think is going to come in last place? Fraud, Epstein files, election integrity, or aliens?
Ooh, Epstein files. Going to come in last place.
I'm wondering if, at least with our audience, is there a disinterest right now in the Epstein files?
Yeah, well, the problem is it's so disingenuous.
What is?
The coverage of the Epstein files. Because, yes, it's getting oversaturated covered in the most partisan stupid way possible from a bunch of people that didn't care for 4 years and now don't actually care about any justice. They just care about Donald Trump. So it is overcovered in the narrowest way possible.
I watched, I might have watched 45 minutes to an hour of Clinton's deposition last night.
Really?
Which one? Bill or Hillary?
Bill, right?
Yes.
Okay.
And I was working on making some shirts for the girls' basketball team, so I was like, I'm going to put this on in the background and kind of just pay attention to it. First observation, my oldest daughter was in there, and she's like, "Who is that? That looks like an animatronic from Hall of Presidents."
Oh my gosh!
Well, that's
kind of does.
That's Bill Clinton. It was like he looked familiar, but not how. I go, "That's Bill Clinton," and she's like, "Oh." My son saw it. He goes, "Is that Bill Clinton?" So the visual of him was familiar but off. Maybe he's an alien. Who knows? Wouldn't that be the story?
Undercovered,
super undercovered, but not anymore.
Now
thanks to the Annie Frey Show.
Been covered.
He's so. Do you know how old he is?
He's got to be close to 80.
Give it a guess.
78.
Brad, do you know how old he is?
Bill Clinton? 84.
79. Oh. He's the same age as Trump.
I thought he was, or close to it. That's why I said 78.
I would have guessed he was younger, but boy, 79 on Bill Clinton looks a lot younger than Donald Trump.
Yes, it does.
I don't know if there's a known condition for Bill Clinton, but he has a tremor in his hand. His right hand was very tremory. He's 79 years old, so it's understandable. You spend 8 years in the presidency, ages you super fast. That's not he probably, for a president who's 79, who spent 8 years in office, he probably looks and is doing okay. I think they came out that he had some sort of sickness or something, but I don't remember what it was. But Representative Burleson was on the show with us yesterday, and he was talking about being in that room and asking those questions. I wanted to get to the question. Eric Burleson said on the show yesterday that he asked President Bill Clinton about a text message about somebody in the exchange being hung like a horse.
It was maybe the highlight of the show yesterday. Did you just make a horse noise?
I'm not just trying. It was inadvertent, but yes. It's a tick I have when I get nervous.
When I met you,
now everybody knows.
Like, wow, when people ask me, what's she like off air? Like, a lot of horse noises. Inadvertent.
Great Maine. I was hoping to come across that, but I think it's a 4.5 hour deposition.
Oh, you didn't get deep enough into.
No, but I wanted to see it. Because when Burleson said, he's like, I had to ask the former president of the United States if this comment about being hung like a horse was about him. And I'm like, what was his face like? But he goes, I don't know. I was looking at my paper, and I asked him, I go, is it on the video? He goes, yeah, it'll be on the video. So I'll be back to that deposition. He is a likable, believable guy. Is Bill Clinton... This is a good poll question. This is where I say something on the air. It would be a great poll question, and then it's 9:45 at night, and I'm like, God dang it, what did I say would be a good poll question? And then I start texting people. And then I find out that none of you guys listen to the show. So because none
we don't
of you remember
anything.
I asked Ethan that a couple nights ago, and he's like, I have no idea. I was like, you were here in the room. Is Bill Clinton a good guy?
Oh gosh, no.
Is there anything about it? Is he just that smooth? Why is he not a good guy? I just want to have this conversation out loud. I want to make you put words to it.
Okay. I think there's the obvious stuff with Lewinsky.
He's a womanizer.
There's all that, but I'm not even going to talk about that.
And I want to address that though. Because him being a womanizer, there are public stories. I'm thinking back, I don't know about George W. Bush so much, but there are stories certainly about Donald Trump. My goodness. Like if you're going to say if you're going to say that Bill Clinton is a bad man because he's a womanizer, and you're not going to hang that over Trump's head with equality.
That's why I'm not doing it.
Then, so like if you want to do like common denominator, we're taking the womanizer thing out next.
However, his was in the office and Trump's was not. And that's a big difference, soiling the office of the President of the United States. But anyway, the fraud accusations and even some of the deeper stuff of like murders.
But those are just accusations.
But the fraud stuff with Haiti, that stuff is, I don't
Through
want
the
to say
Clinton Global
it's-
Initiative.
Yeah, I don't want to say it's fully like every dollar for dollar verified, but everybody knows
that the Clintons took advantage of Haiti.
That they were cheating, not just Haiti, but they were just cheating and laundering money through their charities. Everybody knows that they were doing it. It was borderline illegal, but I don't think they ever been able to get him on it because it was a lot of foreign action. They had all these bank accounts, and he's the former president of the United States and former Secretary of State. So they're tough to nail down. They're tough to even nail down in this one deposition. They had to do a negotiation.
Yeah, but there's
with him.
nobody who goes into a deposition like this and spills their guts.
Right. I just mean it was tough to even get the deposition with them, let alone get them on anything.
Now, I'm devil's advocating here. But who wouldn't make it difficult to depose themselves?
Oh, I'm not saying that.
Yeah, everybody.
They should. Yeah, they should. I'm just because of their position in America, they're very difficult to prosecute or bring charges against.
I'm just trying to put words to the separation of what we know and what we all assume to be true. And what we all assume to be true, that maybe it's like 2 eyes and 2 ears. I know what I see. I know what I hear. But do we know it? Eric Burleson said on the show yesterday, I really encourage you to go back. I actually went back yesterday, too, and listened to that interview just to kind of hear what he said from a third-party standpoint instead of I have to ask the next question standpoint. And he said he asked Bill Clinton, right, about the suicide that took place where the guy hanged himself and shot himself.
Okay.
Was that Bill or Hillary? I can't remember which one this is why I have to go back and listen to it again. But I mean, these are stories that have been swirling forever. I mean, it's created, there's a lore behind. I actually thought yesterday about saying to Congressman Burleson, is there any level of concern that you have about talking directly to the Clintons about suicides? Are you yourself suicidal? Would you like to make a statement right now? And I thought this is too serious of a situation to make a lighthearted. It's not a lighthearted joke, but to be playful with the Clinton suicides people legend. Is there any possibility? I'm just asking questions here. Is there any possibility, even a percentage of a possibility, that the Clintons are just maybe immoral, unethical, politician to the core, self-aggrandized, kind of uncapitalistic red, white, and blue Americans? Is there any possibility that they're just kind of like trashy people and they're not suiciding people?
Well,
yes.
I guess there is. But all the things you described as are they just, those things could lead in a lot of horrible directions too.
Well, I'm just saying that the legends and the lore behind the Clintons is so extreme. I don't know, and I live in this world, I don't know what is factually real and what has been talked about and discussed. I just grokked what provable fraud took place with the Clinton Global Initiative in Haiti. And this is the research that has been provided from Grok. So I'm just telling you what I'm reading here. The Clinton Global Initiative was a program within the broader Clinton Foundation focused on facilitating commitments for global issues, including disaster relief. Following the devastating 2010 earthquake in Haiti, the foundation raised significant funds, reportedly around $130 million directly, with Bill Clinton also serving as UN Special Envoy for Haiti and co-chair of the Interim Haiti Recovery Commission. which oversaw billions in international aid. While the foundation touted efforts like economic development and health initiatives, numerous controversies emerged regarding mismanagement, favoritism towards donors, and poor outcomes for Haitians. However, quote, provable fraud implies legally established wrongdoing through convictions, audits, or admissions, distinct from unproven allegations or ethical lapses. Based on available records, there are no criminal convictions or proven fraud cases directly against the Clinton Foundation, CGI, or the Clintons themselves related to Haiti. Investigations by entities like the FBI and various audits did not result in charges for fraud in this context. Fact-checking sources have debunked exaggerated claims such as the foundation stealing billions or being ordered to shut down. Instead, proven fraud is limited to a few associated individuals and contractors who benefited from Clinton-linked aid processes. And then it tells you who those ones are. Now, does that mean that they never defrauded anybody ever? I would say that you could be so well connected that you'd never be prosecuted. But I was just sitting there watching Bill Clinton to what Congressman Burleson said yesterday, who was in the room with him. And he goes, he said something yesterday to the effect like, I was just brought back to all of those things about how charming Bill Clinton is and has been. And he felt that. And I was watching it yesterday. And if I knew nothing about Bill Clinton, if I were sitting there and I was like my daughter who's like, is that an animatronic from the Hall of Presidents in Magic Kingdom? Like, who is this guy? If you knew nothing about him, you'd be charmed by him. You'd believe him. Now, I didn't watch Hillary's because I wasn't in the mood last night to take on Hillary. I just think it's amazing how there are all of these things that are assumed. There are all of these things that are not proven, but not really disproven. They just lurk and linger. And then the American people are left to be played upon with these things that are never proven or disproven. And I have a feeling that in order to prove or disprove a lot of these things, that there would be people who would be exonerated, that the people in power don't want to be exonerated. They like the mystery of it existing. Or if they were to prove that something was bad, it would wrap in people who they don't want to get in trouble. The swamp doesn't want to be connected to or adjacent to. And so you sit there and you think to yourself, well, good grief, like what can we believe about anything? And so much of all of this stuff, the reason I'm just asking these questions out loud, newsflash, Annie Frey Show questioning if the Clintons are maybe possibly actually good people. Be or not to be. Those conversations are never happening. We all just assume that we know that they're trashy people, that they take advantage of the American taxpayer, of power. Power corrupts. And I'm not here to say that none of that's actually true. But these people actually know. The Clintons know what's real and what's not. And they're never going to come and make everything be known. So do you question everything they say? If they advocate for something, do you question who they advocate for? If they advocate against something, do you question what they advocate against? Listen to this.
I hate this, but because I don't believe I should inject anything. But I do not want to leave the impression, but since there was no follow-up question, the president never, this is 20-something years ago, never said anything to me to make me think he was involved in anything improper with regard to Epstein either. He just didn't. That's the truth. As I said earlier, the only conversation I had with President Trump about this was in the early 2000s. And I have no information that he did anything wrong. I just want it all out there. I want everybody to get it all out there and let everybody see where we are.
That was President Bill Clinton talking about President Trump in regards to the Epstein file deposition that he's in, offering up excessive information about his thoughts regarding Donald Trump and any connection that he might have. The Democrats asked Bill Clinton a question about Trump's connection to the Epstein files. And Bill Clinton said there's no connection. And then they asked no follow-ups to it. And he's like, when he says, since there were no follow-up questions, he's looking at the Democrats that are in that deposition and offering more information that exonerates President Trump from some sort of liability to some sort of negligence, malfeasance, or, nefariousness towards the Epstein files. Bill Clinton's out there offering it. I just find it incredibly interesting. This after Friday, when those depositions were taking place, President Trump said to the press, I don't like to see Bill Clinton being deposed. I don't like to see it. I like the guy. I don't know what any of it means. I just know that we're probably not supposed to know what any of it means, and that's frustrating in and of itself. Back in a minute.
Time you gave your home's exterior a little love. Hi, it's Kim, and if your siding is cracking, it's fading, or just doesn't stand up to our St. Louis weather, it's time to call Lakeside Renovation and Design because they're experts in James Hardy siding, which is this durable, low-maintenance option, and it looks beautiful. Plus, you have customizable colors and textures, and so you can give your home a completely new look while protecting it for decades. Don't wait until the small problems turn into big ones. Visit lakesidearty.com to schedule your free consultation.
The team at Ricken Financial want to help you make educated and informed decisions about your retirement strategies.
Why not rely on individuals who can optimize your thinking and optimize your plan and optimize all the resources and show you what's all available to be able to make a truly informed decision?
Call Ricken Financial today, 314-207-6211 or online at rickenfinancial.com and join us for Kickin' with the Rickens Sunday at 1 p.m. here on 97.1 FM Talk.
Investment advisory products and services made available through Impact Partnership Wealth, LLC, IPW, a registered investment advisor.
My name is Whitney Allen, and I'm a widow. My husband, Ryan, died. We never thought we'd ever have to use life insurance, but the unexpected happened. With Ethos, signing up was fast and 100% online. You can get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. No medical exams, and you can get up to $3 million worth of coverage. I'm grateful we were prepared.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/term. That's ethos.com/term. Paid spokesperson. Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm, and Chuck McDowell definitely not an attorney. This is Chuck. If someone talked you into buying something really silly and you want to get out of that silly little thing, my advice, get the facts. Call me and I'll send you our timeshare exit kit absolutely free. Inside, you'll learn how timeshare works and all your options for cancellation.
Call Wesley now for your free exit information kit. 800-909-9696. 800-909-9696.
Hey, it's Mark Reardon from Michael's Bass. You've upgraded the kitchen, you've invested in your home, so why settle for a bathroom that still feels ordinary? At Michael's Bass, they create elevated bathroom spaces that blend luxury, comfort, and smart design, all tailored to the way you live. This isn't a temporary fix or a quick cover-up. It's a complete transformation, built to last and built to add value to your home. And now is the perfect time to plan for a spring installation. Visit michaelsbass.com or call 636-775-0800. Ask about financing options, including 0% interest. Michael's Bass.
Never miss a beat. Take 97.1 FM Talk with you. The voices you trust, Mark Cox, Annie Frey, Mark Reardon, Scott Jennings, and more are just a tap away with the Odyssey app. Stream 97.1 FM Talk, St. Louis conservative.
I'm Dan Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. Last year, millions of people called us for representation. Why? Because trust grows when you win, and we've won a lot. Over $30 billion and counting. When you call America's largest injury law firm, you're calling a family. You're calling an army, our army. You're calling somebody who will fight for you. Injured? Let our family fight for your family. Morgan & Morgan, forthepeople.com.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements. Past results afford no guarantee of future results. Every case is different and must be judged on its own merits.
Hi, I'm Bob Kershaw with Retirement Advisory Group.
Hi, I'm Tammy Kershaw. When we meet our clients for the first time, they have built up a lifetime of savings. Their question is, what can we do with this money so we can live comfortably the rest of our lives? First, we develop a strategy to protect your nest egg from any market losses. Then we build your own personalized structured income plan that will generate you an income the rest of your life. We put you in control of your money.
You've earned it, and it's our job to make sure you enjoy it. Let our team show you how you can have the retirement of your dreams. Call us now at 314-993-9494 for a no-cost, no-obligation retirement review. You will also get a copy of our latest edition book, Your Key to a Worry-Free Retirement. We've been helping retirees and pre-retirees retire with confidence for 40 years. Call us now at 314-993-9494 or go online at retirementkey.com. That's retirementkey.com.
We've been asking you and discussing this question. What news story do you feel is being most undercovered? Is it fraud? Is it the Epstein files? Is it election integrity? Or is it aliens? You let us know. We'll give the results at the end of the show, as usual, right before 3 o'clock. 1:45 right now. This time check is sponsored by Jerry Kelly Heating, Air Conditioning, Electrical, and Plumbing.
It's time for a $98 furnace tune-up.
JerryKelly.com. You're listening to The Annie Frey Show. 97.1 FM Talk. St. Louis Conservative.
I was looking through our cuts here, just historical cuts from the Annie Frey Show, and I searched alien, and I'm like, good grief, we've got a ton of cuts about aliens. And then I realized it was mostly illegal aliens. But we do have this one.
What's that?
You don't know what that's
Really?
from? Don't tell him.
Oh, I think I first figured
Embarrassing.
What do you what is it?
it out. It's Brent Spiner, isn't it?
Yeah. Data. Yeah. That's a scary part of the movie.
That's tough, man. If you had no frame of reference, you can barely even tell what's going on.
Everybody in our
audio.
generation knows that he's squished up against the glass right now. Is that glass bulletproof? No, sir, it is not. Pew, pew.
Yeah. What do you want from us?
Yeah.
Oh, man, I was 13.
Kids,
That was scary.
if you're listening right now and you don't know what we're talking about, ask your parents. You're in for a movie night. Don't worry, the good guys win.
That's when you knew you did not need to be compassionate to the outer space aliens. You were just going to fight them.
The outer space aliens.
Yeah.
Yeah.
what I
Not.
said.
Yeah. Not an analogy.
No, I'm just talking about Independence Day.
Best alien movie that exists. I'm going to say Independence Day.
Gosh, that's too big of a question, Annie.
Ryan's freaking out. It could be any of the Star Trek
Well,
movies.
talk it out. What are you thinking?
Well, my first thought
I guess Star
went
Wars
to-
is an alien movie.
Yeah, there are aliens.
There are lots of aliens, but it's more like diplomatic.
Where's Han Solo from?
Coruscant.
Are there any? Does Earth exist in Star Wars?
You
guys don't know the
I don't know.
answer to this
I
question?
don't. This is a Brad question.
It could exist, but they
No,
never
no,
make
no, no, no,
reference.
no.
Well,
Does
the
it
thing-
exist?
Star Wars takes place in a completely different galaxy than the Milky Way. So but they don't mention the Milky
So
Way.
Star
at
Wars
all.
is limited.
So it does not exist.
So
in
it
that
doesn't
universe.
exist in that universe.
Like
that sense.
in the Avengers saga, you have Chris Pratt, who is from Earth.
Right.
So there is an existence of our existence in that storyline. Ooh, that would be maybe I don't know. Is Endgame better than I was gonna say Men in Black? Because Men in Black is a fave. The original one.
Ooh, that's a good.
I like the Chris Hemsworth one because duh. But I think Independence Day, like I still go back and watch Independence Day, and I'm trying to think of there are times when I'm watching Independence Day and I'm looking for it to feel old looking. I'm looking for the green screen stuff. I'm looking for the CGI stuff, and it's still pretty good. You can look hard for it and you can, tell whatever, but it still is really a great story. So quotable, such great lines.
Okay, I'm going to say the best alien movie is probably, even though I like more
314-241-9797.
Yeah.
Text us your favorite and why, but be brief.
Predator.
Never seen it.
It's a really good movie. It's a really fun movie, but it's not. It's
fun?
It's more of like a hunting movie than it is an alien movie.
The original Predator?
The original Predator. So I give it a little bit of deference. Super 8, Spaceballs.
Spaceballs. Okay, I see.
The Day the Earth Stood Still.
Never seen
That's
it.
That's a 1950s classic alien movie.
Close Encounters?
I'm going to go with that. Close Encounters would be in that same category. E.T. would too.
I wanted to watch E.T. is like sneaking up high on the list of old movies that we're supposed to watch.
Yeah.
Because we've watched so many with our kids. But E.T. was watched quite frequently in our house growing up because, kids, we were limited. If you had the VHS tape, you watched it. E.T. scared me.
I didn't like E.T. either because it was
like,
too scary.
I actually don't enjoy the thought of watching E.T. again.
Me either.
Gremlins?
That's not. Is that an alien movie?
What else would it be?
Are they from outer space? I
don't
think
know.
I think they're just Earth things.
It doesn't ever say. They just get them from a guy in Chinatown.
Right. That's true.
Aliens.
No, they're not aliens. I think they're domestic.
Predator is like the alien version of Jurassic Park.
No.
Must go faster.
No.
Which Jeff Goldblum says in both Jurassic Park and Independence Day.
Galaxy Quest. Has anybody ever seen that?
Is that with Tim Allen?
That's a fun movie. Yeah. I'm trying to pull up the text here.
Which one did you say is your favorite, Brad?
Alien movies.
How could it not be a Star Wars?
Yeah, I was gonna say if we're calling Star Wars, then it's gonna be Empire Strikes Back.
Which one is that?
It's the middle one of the original trilogy.
Ooh, here's a good one from the text line. Signs.
Oh, I love
That is a
Signs.
really good movie, too.
That would be my top. I would put that more in a scary movie category than Independence Day. I don't really feel as scary. It's suspenseful and it's action, but I think it's very funny. So I would put Signs up there. Thank you for texting that.
Bunch of people
314-241-9797.
mentioning the ones that we have. So E.T., Predator. But here's another one from the text line. War of the Worlds with Tom Cruise.
Ooh, that's a good one.
It's underrated. It was a really good movie.
It is a good one.
If you go and tour Universal Studios, they still have a lot of the wreckage.
Oh, really?
From when he kind of comes out and there's all the mess of the world. They left that outdoor scene.
Oh, that's
It's pretty cool.
Follow-up question. If aliens are real, what movie do you think is the most realistic as to how Earth encounters them?
Galaxy Quest.
Isn't that where Earthlings go into space?
Actually, let me alter that and say it would be a version of the movie Alien or Aliens, but more like Prometheus, where it's something like a virus from outer space that becomes something else.
The Andromeda strain.
Something like that. Yeah.
Is Andromeda strain aliens?
It's
just
something from a meteor.
It's a virus or an illness from the Andromeda galaxy that makes it to the Earth.
I'm jumping in to the YouTube live chat, and I'm not 100% sure that this is Contact is a movie, right?
Contact is a good one.
Andy says Contact, so I'm assuming he's talking about alien movies and that's not a mid discussion about something else. Susan Sarandon or somebody in Contact?
Amy Adams, I think. Wait, let me look back.
Contact. No, that's the
Am
older
I thinking
one.
of the other one?
Yeah.
And Joe says Earth Girls are easy.
Oh, Arrival is what I was thinking
Arrival,
of.
yeah.
Earth Girls are easy.
Is that from something?
That's a real movie.
Is that a movie?
Yeah, that's a movie. I think that was a Jim Carrey movie.
Jodie Foster, Andy, thank you. That is the Susan Sarandon I was thinking of.
Here's a few more from the text line. See if you like these.
314-241-9797.
Starship Troopers.
I saw Starship Troopers at the drive-in in Litchfield, and I was angry at how much I hated that movie, but I think I was too young for it.
It's a fun movie.
It's a fun movie. I mean, the whole Starship Troopers thing is a commentary on fascism.
Yes. But Ghostbusters is not an alien movie, you guys. Stop.
Are they not? Are the ghosts?
They're ghosts.
They're just ghosts.
They're
not
not
from a different planet. Yeah. Last
The
Starfighter.
Stay Puft Man is
that's
of Earth?
old school.
Yes, he's of Earth.
Last one you
Hitchhiker's
said?
Guide to the Galaxy.
Never seen it.
That's not really an alien movie so much.
Well,
there's aliens in it.
I mean, the whole movie takes place in space.
Yeah. Transformers. Technically.
It's an alien movie.
Let me ask you a question about Transformers. Is this the Shia LaBeouf buff?
Sure.
Yes.
Transformers. Are those really good movies?
They're fun like a Marvel movie.
They're Michael Bay movies.
It's fun like a Marvel movie?
Yeah.
Because we've never watched any of. How many are there?
A ton.
Way too many, and they all blend together, and nobody cares.
I think there might be 7 of them.
Yeah, but if they're really good movies and you get to revisit the fun, like that's what the Marvel movies are. We've probably in our family gone through the Marvel Infinity Saga 6 times, but it takes us maybe 2 or 3 months to do it. But when our family sits down and we're like, what are we going to watch? And it's something everybody can participate in. It's just nice to have the next thing up. It's like when you have the argument about where you're going to go eat dinner. You just save 30 minutes of time just by knowing what comes next. The Transformers movies will scratch that itch?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay.
And it's not one you got to pay super close attention to.
Perfect for Mom.
Oh, by the way, this one needs a mention. They Live.
Never heard of that.
It's the one where it's Rowdy Roddy Piper. I'm
Is that the one with the glasses?
I'm here to kick you know what and chew bubble gum, and I'm all out of bubble gum.
Is that a new movie or an old movie?
That's a 1980s movie.
Yeah.
And he
What is it called?
They Live. You need to watch They Live because he stumbles upon a box of sunglasses that if you put them on, you can see which people are aliens and which are not.
Give them to me.
I've only seen the memes of it.
Oh, you guys need to see this
I'm gonna
movie.
watch it. Yeah, I will watch that.
Is it it says sci-fi horror. Is it scary? It's rated R. Is it scary?
I don't know that it's scary.
1980s cheesy
1988.
Horror. Yeah. It's but
Roddy Piper, Keith David, Meg Foster, Peter Jason, Larry Franco, Cy Richardson.
There's a fight scene where it's the two main characters and their buddies, but they're gonna have it out. They fight for like 8 minutes.
And to make the movie
they just keep
an hour and 33
beating
minutes?
each other up in the street. You're like, get this over with.
They're like, we got Roddy Piper here. We got to use him.
Exactly.
They Live, 1988. This is an AI overview. Is a sci-fi horror film by John Carpenter that critiques Reagan-era capitalism, consumerism, and hidden power structures.
That's nonsense.
Revealing an alien race controlling humanity through subliminal messages like obey and consume.
Yep.
Embedded in media, visible only with special sunglasses, symbolizing how the wealthy elite maintain control by keeping the working class distracted and complacent.
Now you're getting there. That is what it's about.
I didn't know you hated Ronald Reagan. We'll be right back after this
come on.
YouTube live chat poll. What news story do you feel is being most undercovered? Well, it's not aliens anymore. I think we've checked that one off the list. Maybe it is for you. Fraud, Epstein files, election integrity, or aliens? Are they burying a story, underserving a story, or covering it up? Annie Frey YouTube channel. Go vote. Don't forget, stream us live on the Odyssey app, AUDACY. 2 o'clock hour next. Don't go away.
Evacuation flights underway. I'm Lisa Brady, Fox News. The State Department working to get Americans who want to leave the Middle East out in several ways. In countries without commercial options, facilitating travel to third countries as conditions allow, preparing military and charter flights, also helping U.S. citizens to book tickets in countries that still have commercial options open.
You will see a ramped up, intensified effort to ensure that Americans are being evacuated from the region.
Senate Majority Leader John Thune also just telling reporters he believes the president did have the authority to launch Operation Epic Fury without approval from Congress. The president says he believes attacking Iran prevented an imminent attack by Iran in the Middle East.
And somebody had to do it. And it should have been done sometime during a 47-year period because so much death has been caused by them.
Adding that true peace in the Middle East would not have been possible with Iran's nuclear and missile programs. The president's criticizing some European allies for not backing U.S. airstrikes on Iran.
President Trump is threatening to cut off all trade with Spain and impose other economic punishments after the country's leader denied the use of an airbase to launch attacks on Iran.
They were unfriendly. And so I told him, we don't want to, Spain has absolutely nothing that we need other than great people. They have great people, but they don't have great leadership.
Hosting the German chancellor in the Oval Office, the president was also critical of UK Prime Minister Keir Starmer, saying he's no Churchill.
Fox's Jared Halpern at the White House. The British Prime Minister is sending a warship to the region for defensive purposes after a drone hit a UK base in Cyprus. The French president just ordering his nuclear-powered aircraft carrier into the Mediterranean. President Trump just posting the U.S. Navy will begin escorting oil tankers through the Strait of Hormuz, if necessary, for the free flow of energy. America is listening to Fox News.
You ever wonder why Verizon charges twice as much as Pure Talk for the same basic service? Think it might have something to do with the fact that Verizon spends $12 billion a year on advertising and promotion. That's billion with a B. Yeah, Pure Talk doesn't spend that kind of money on commercials. That's why they can offer unlimited talk, text, and plenty of data on a blazing fast 5G network for just $25 a month. Save an additional 50% off your first month when you dial pound 250 and say the words micro. That's pound 250, micro.
Hear that? That's Mike. He took ZQL Pure Z's, so now he's sleeping soundly on a Sunday night. ZQL Pure Z's are fast-acting melatonin gummies with a complementary botanical blend to help Mike get the sleep he needs to wake up refreshed and ready to conquer Monday.
Let's do this Monday.
ZQL Pure Z's, just for sleep. Really great sleep. These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. These products are not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease. Use as directed.
Welcome back to the Annie Frey Show. We appreciate you being with us this afternoon. Stream us on the Odyssey app. You want to take us anywhere you go, AUDACY, download that app, find 97.1 FM Talk or the Annie Frey Show. We'd like to keep you company. I want to talk a little bit about this. It's not really like a fun thing to discuss, but when you're watching, I had a trippy dream. I left Fox News running on my phone at night, and I'm like half listening to it, and then I think I'm dreaming the narration of the Fox News reports. Not great. Yeah. I need to stop doing that.
You had a trippy dream based on Fox News?
Well, I just had a dream that, there's a lot of discussion about what's going to happen here in the homeland. And they were covering, I think it was the Austin shooting that took place. A guy went into a bar and killed 3 people, suspected terrorism. And the implication that is something that would potentially happen again. I mean, that stuff happens when we're not taking out the entirety of the governmental structure of Iran. So I don't think it's unreasonable to be thoughtful and to be prepared for something like that to happen again. So I'm paying attention. It's of mind for me. Dan Bongino, who has served in the FBI and is back behind the microphone now, was talking a little bit about that very thing.
They're going to try, obviously, to incentivize attacks on U.S. soil. I got a ton of questions this weekend about things like sleeper cells. I'll address what I can here. It is a very real threat. However, what I consider to be, in addition to the possibility of sleeper cell elements, a co-equal threat is the threat of incidents like this, encouraging lunatics who are here who don't share our values, self-radicalizing. We've seen this over and over. On one side, there is a threat, but I want to give you the good news first. We have a couple of things working for us. I'm not telling you it eliminates all the threat, but this is the stuff that happened, when I was there that's now in the open arena, and you can read about it yourself. Folks, the Summer Heat Violent Crime Initiative, where we locked up tens of thousands of criminals. Folks, criminals tend to hang out with other criminals. It's not a mystery. And in an enhanced surveillance technology environment, it is not as easy as it was 10 or 15 years ago to coordinate attacks anymore. It's not by any means impossible. I'm not diminishing the possibility of any organized group. The downside is Biden's open border let in probably anywhere from 15 to 20 million people into the country. You don't know who's here if they're gotaways because they got away. You don't know. So I'm not going to be the one to tell you, that threat of cells is non-existent. I'm just telling you that we were on it, and there is let's say a laundry list of things that happen that are planned out in advance when fire alarms get pulled. Does that make sense?
So Dan Bongino, speaking to the thought of sleeper cells that would exist here, I go back and forth. Like, is it a fruitful conversation to have regarding how so many people, 15, 18 million people who are here in our country because of the open border policies of the Biden administration? We don't know who's here. We know the amount of people who we have, rounded up and deported for various levels of crimes committed. But I think kind of the point he's making there is like the secondary threat that he sees is people who, if you're not here as a sleeper cell, but you're here as somebody who's been radicalized to hate this country, to hate this president, to hate people, maybe like you, who just happened to vote for Donald Trump and believe in a pro-America, America first, capitalistic society that is governed by the people, for the people, with the Constitution as the supreme document of the land. You got some basic principles, and pretty much outside of that, you just want the freedom to live your life. That there are people who could have been radicalized over the course of the last few years politically that could use this as an opportunity to slip right in the door there and make it be about something. I think it's irrational to think that these types of things aren't brewing under the surface in our country right now. But how valuable is it that the administration, that President Trump has been so heavily law and order leading up to this point in time? The amount of criminals that have been arrested or deported. Every criminal is not an illegal alien. Every illegal alien, I guess, is a criminal in the sense that they are here, but not in some sort of violent type of way. This is why, order actually matters. Yes, law and order, but just the general understanding and agreement that we have laws for a particular reason to establish civilization. And I think that the idea of being civilized is a really interesting discussion that doesn't really happen very often, because you can be uncivilized and not be engaging in illegal behavior. Being uncivilized isn't in and of itself illegal, but we don't have a culture, a vocal culture. The squeaky wheel that gets the grease is not one that's screaming to be more civilized. It's actually the opposite of that. It's the undoing of civilization and everything that we collectively, societally put our hands together and go, we can agree on these things, right? We can agree that this is good. We can agree that that is bad. So you have a collection of things that you together across all sorts of walks of lives and perspectives and religious affiliations and cultural traditions. There are a lot of things that we can come together and agree. This is civilized behavior. And the truth of the matter is, it's a vast majority. It's an 80-20 issue where the things that we need to agree upon being civilized across all of these different segregations or demographics that people want to say separate us. There's a ton that we agree on, but the 20% of the 80-20 issue, they just scream and piss and moan all of the time, and they get all the attention to make the other 80%, at least leading up to maybe the last few years, go, well, I don't want any part of that. It's not that you agree with them. It's not that you're ashamed of what you feel, but it's so nuts that you don't want to get involved in it, which is why, going back to the State of the Union, when President Trump went to his side, stuck his right arm out and said, these people are crazy, I think that's a pivotal historical moment. Because, yes, we can have law and order. Yes, we can have a president who, come hell or high water, wants to establish law and order, is willing to look at people doing illegal things and say, that is illegal, it's against the law, and we're not going to allow it anymore. Where it feels like half the country is saying, shame on you, don't you have a heart? How can you be so, how can you lack compassion? How can you be so harsh to these people? And President Trump's going, it's against the law. You just can't do that. It's against the law. Like, what is the executive office for, if not for to say we have to execute the laws of the land that the people in Congress have passed and have been signed by me or by my predecessors? Laws are laws. Do you want me as the executive to start picking and choosing which laws we will and will not enforce? Of course, that's not what people want. But the squeaky wheel continues to say, well, not that law, not that norm. And we're going to put incredible amounts of pressure on society, which, of course, ripples into government, but the societal pressure to not stand up and go, this is crazy. What are you talking about? That's crazy. We're not doing that. I think that one of the most significant degradations of culture and society has to do with the way we talk about and address mental health, which is weird because we talk about it all the time. It's like the first and foremost thing that, you remember back when it was like, I'm okay, you're okay, we're all okay? Like, there's this idea that nothing is weird. Everything is okay. Your differences are your strengths. Well, I mean, like, in a lot of ways, that was maybe a healthy endeavor to go into, to try not to isolate people who aren't a super straight and narrow version of normal, that we could broaden our interests and appreciation for people who are unique and different. But, like, now we've got people who are crazy, going back to what President Trump said. These people are crazy. We have crazy people in our country right now who are not being cared for the way they're supposed to be cared for because we can't call them crazy. And then some of these people, a small, incredibly small fraction of those people become violent. But when even if it's a small fraction of people who become violent, they can do incredible devastation and damage. How many times have we seen, public shooters, be it in a school or somewhere else? And it's like obvious that these people should not have been out and about in society. They are not civilized people. They should not be among civilization. Is that a crazy thought?
We've got to swing back to the other side where we're actually willing to say some things are wrong and call out when we see them in the world. Everybody's so afraid of being, judgmental or impolite that nobody's willing to take a stand on anything that they know to be true.
And the consequences are so dire. Like the institutionalization of people who are mentally ill and dangerous, we do still institutionalize people. But it doesn't seem as though there are certain things that we've mainstreamed that suggest that, we're supposed to look at abnormal behavior and celebrate it as normal. And the majority of us have been like, I can't put myself in I'm going to celebrate this category, but I'm going to not put myself in the middle of this category at all. I'm not even going to talk about it because you don't want the blowback. You don't want the feedback that's going to cancel you or to put you in a category of people that you don't belong in because you just think that something is abnormal. I can't. I don't want to. I'm probably defending myself right now the way I'm saying this, but we have to get back to a place where we look at behavior that is attention-seeking, abnormal behavior. It's one thing to be different. It's one thing to be abnormal. But the insatiable attention-seeking behavior that requires it demands your affirmation. And once you've done it, all that is needed is the next time for you to do it. That publicly, you have to be repeatedly on record to call things not just normal, but exceptional. Like, this is your strength. Isn't that a part of it? That it's not just about being, you're not supposed, the goal is not to blend in. The goal is not to just go about your day, go about your life, and just blend in like everybody else. Your goal is to stand out, but it's not enough to just stand out. You have to be acknowledged everywhere you go. The attention-seeking behavior and the insatiable nature of it, it's like a drug where once you've been affirmed, you want to be affirmed again, and maybe a little bit bigger, and a little bit bigger, and a little bit bigger. And it's never going to make you feel as though you've been accepted enough so you can do bigger things to get more attention. And it leads us down to a path where it becomes dangerous. So I think what Bongino is saying there, that there are people in our society who have been radicalized, who might seek out an opportunity. It might not be some sort of like extremist, terrorist type of person on our shores, on our land, who decides to engage in this kind of behavior. But there might be a lot of people who are pushed to say, hey, this is your time. This is your moment. And I think it's kind of terrifying to know that is just brewing out there. And I don't really know what I know the long-term solution here is to not have a society that is unwilling to call out the abnormal and the stuff that goes beyond abnormal. We have to get back to that. And I just think that Donald Trump's effort to reinstill an appreciation for law enforcement, a support for law and order, and the willingness to just look at something and say, that's nuts. That's I think those are important words that he said in the State of the Union in a much big, I don't know if that was spur of the moment. I'd like to know. Was he told, you need to call those people crazy? Like, you need to get that line in, or if that was just something he did? Because it really seems like something Donald Trump would just say.
Oh, it just seems, that's a Donald Trump thing. I doubt that was in the transcript. I'll tell you what, I'm among the people who are the chorus of people going, we need more to happen at the DOJ and the FBI. But when I hear Bongino, Kash Patel, even Pam Bondi, I know one thing, and that's they have the right priorities. I don't know what they're getting done behind the scenes. I don't know whether they're running into roadblocks, whether they're doing everything that I would want them to do. But I know that they are smart people. And that's why I keep saying, well, I will trust them. I'll trust them a little bit further. Because when I hear Bongino say that kind of stuff, oh, this is what we were doing over the summer. I'm like, great. That's good. Keep that.
And they're unfettered by like the screaming and gnashing of teeth of the people who professionally protest. And, those people call on leaders to like have some humanity about themselves. And it's like, meanwhile, humanity is just crumbling at its core because we have no civilized understanding of how to live among one another, knowing that we're all incredibly different people. Brad, did you want to say something?
I just said it, like, I was listening to everything you guys were saying, and we do need to call out abnormal behavior, point it out, and then help abnormal people kind of understand, if they're just a little awkward, why it's awkward. I mean, but then I was listening to Ryan talking about Bongino and the law and all of that stuff. You said that they're smart people, Ryan. But my thing is this, that everybody needs to remember, the people that were breaking the laws or that we think are breaking the laws on the other side, they weren't stupid either. And they know ways to get behind it, and they know ways to get around it and to cover their tracks and stuff like that. I want to see arrests, but I'm not losing my mind that there aren't perp walks right away, because it's not like these cases are made and laid out in front of everybody. There has to be time to catch them, to build them, to figure out what laws are breaking and what the most effective strategy is to prosecute them if they broke those laws.
All right, let's get Ethan in here. Ethan, Sports and Local, next on the Annie Frey Show. X's and Y's at 2:30. We love getting your questions for X's and Y's, where the boys and the girls ask each other, why are you like that? It's really kind of...
Why are you like that?
Why are you like that? That's how the girls talk when they use vocal fry. And it's like my least favorite thing. Is Trisha coming in for that? I don't remember. Yes, Trisha. Okay, so we got at least 2 boys and 2 girls. And we'll just... we'll get to the bottom of some things at 2:30 in our X's and Y's segment. Ethan next. Air Comfort Service online at aircomfortservice.com. I talked a lot over the course of the years that I've been in partnership with Air Comfort Service about how they've helped me in my house. A new furnace, new air conditioner, new water heater, duct sealing, AeroSeal duct sealing process that they've been so helpful, and it's been a great investment for our family because everything's working pretty great in the Frey household right now. They also do commercial service, and if you've been facing some sort of high-cost repair, somebody quoted you something and you're like, is that really what I need to be doing here? Reach out to Air Comfort Service and have them come out to your business, wherever you're managing that type of room or space where the HVAC isn't working correctly. You call them at 314-513-0091 and ask them for a free second opinion on a heat exchanger, a compressor repair, whatever you might need. If you're looking at that steep repair bill, if you're questioning the quoted repair, Air Comfort Service will give you that second look and the honesty and the excellence that they bring to each and every service that they provide. 314-513-0091, aircomfortservice.com.
Don't get lulled into believing the IRS is getting soft. It's just the opposite. Hi, this is Lance Drury with the Lance Drury Law Firm. We are being told by IRS collection officers that their higher-ups are demanding that they get more aggressive than ever. So don't ignore them any longer. Level up. If you have unfiled returns, unpaid taxes, levies, or liens, call me, Lance Drury, today and let me get between you and the IRS. I'll protect your rights. At the Lance Drury Law Firm, our practice is focused 100% on fighting the IRS. Remember, IRS problems are legal problems, and they need to be handled by an expert attorney who's done it for decades. So call the Lance Drury Law Firm today. We're local. Our office is right here in St. Louis. Call 314-260-6120. Visit Lance, DRURY law.com to schedule your free consultation with your local tax resolution law firm.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements.
Start the new year off on a healthier note by taking active liver supplements from New Nordic every day. Available online at Amazon or newnordicusa.com or at your local CVS, ShopRite, Meijer Grocery, or Wegmans.
You're listening to the Annie Frey Show on 97.1 FM Talk, St. Louis Conservative.
Hold up. Check it out.
Sports and local.
Ethan's Forgettable Stories.
It's not a knock against you.
It's a knock against the stories I'm picking.
It's just the news is boring.
Right.
Okay.
Well, I guess your story selection would be.
Yeah. Have you started yet? I couldn't remember.
I don't think he has.
He did like 3 of them.
Oh, where was I?
Oh, my gosh.
He's just so fast. He's like the Micro Machines guy over there.
Here it is, 2:35.
Ethan?
It's making me kind of feel sad about myself.
Don't.
I'll only compliment you for the rest of the segment, Ethan.
Okay.
I love your hat, which I gave you as a genuine compliment at the beginning of the day.
Thank you.
It is a cool hat.
Quick catch up. The Blues went 1-1 over the weekend.
What's the last one?
Lost to New Jersey on Saturday, and then they beat Minnesota on Sunday.
2 more.
3-1. So they have won 1 straight game.
That's a streak.
They play Seattle tomorrow night on the road.
They any good?
Seattle?
Yeah.
They're all right. We beat them 5-1 last week, though. So let's see if we can follow up that victory with another victory, baby.
I love your enthusiasm, Ethan. Keep going.
It's a little bit of... there is some news on the rumor mill right now. The trade deadline's coming up, and Robert Thomas, the Blues' best player, his name is circulating a lot right now. So we'll see if...
Rob Thomas?
Rob Thomas.
Yeah, lead
Big
singer
fan.
of
Old Bobby
Matchbox
Thomas.
20.
I saw him in concert.
Old Tomer.
Solo or with Matchbox 20?
Matchbox 20. Goo Goo Dolls.
He's
Vanessa
very talented.
Carlton.
He's man of many talents. Good singer, good hockey
Two
player.
first names.
Not as talented as you, Ethan. Keep going.
Aw. Well, Annie, you asked for a story yesterday,
Yeah, you didn't do it.
and I said no.
What about today?
This is the boring segment. That's not fair. Boring stories?
But today, I had a change of heart.
Okay.
I had a change of heart.
To quote Jackie on YouTube, Ryan, you want to go ahead and read that one right there? Jackie's comment. I got it up there for you.
I can't wait to hear this comment from Jackie. Aw.
Okay, going on.
That's how you would interpret ZZ.
Jackie was very high on my listener power rankings, and she just dropped a few spots.
Oh,
from
no.
that.
But Jackie, Ethan is very wise, so that's probably a good assessment.
Mm-hmm.
Next.
We've talked all offseason about some of the notable things that have occurred for the St. Louis Cardinals this offseason. But I would argue that none of them have gone more viral than what was released this weekend. And that was
Not viral enough, though, to make the Monday news.
Semi-viral.
I knew it could wait. You got to keep the people waiting. This is
You gotta keep the host waiting.
Keep the host waiting, keep the people waiting.
Especially in news.
I said, this is so big that it's Tuesday news. The St. Louis Cardinals have introduced a new all-you-can-eat ticket for the 2026 season, which will give fans in some select sections unlimited access to classic ballpark staples and some Coca-Cola beverages as well throughout games. It's being promoted as the Coca-Cola Unlimited experience. The ticket can give fans the opportunity to watch the game from Big Mac Land, which is sections 271 or 272. Fans with such a ticket will receive a wristband at a check-in station that is going to be near section 265. After that, fans with the wristband can pick up food at a nearby designated unlimited concession stand. And with that wristband, here's some of the things that are going to be
included.
Bottomless. Bottomless, Ryan Wiggins.
But from that one kiosk, so you might have to wait.
I think it sounds
you
like
have
there's
to be
gonna
bottomless, Ryan. You can't wear
I was
pants.
going to say, how do you get into the stadium that way?
Bottomless. Yeah. I'm here for the food, I say, as I stand naked.
No, just bottomless.
I got a shirt.
Are you yoga?
He's
You can have
winning
a shirt
pooing it over here.
You can have a shirt on.
They're going to enforce that.
Shirt, hat, sunglasses, visor, anything but pants.
Give me a hot dog. Actually, just give me
Wait,
the bun.
what are we talking about? I came in halfway through that conversation. Had to take
Continue.
a phone call.
You don't want to be a part of it.
I do want to. This is my story.
I really don't think you do want to be a part of it.
I do. Bottomless, we're pantsless. Next.
Eric Burleson might have to ask me a question or two.
Is Alec Burleson still on our team?
Alec Burleson is on our team. He'll be our first baseman this year.
Fantastic.
Here is what is included in the Coca-Cola Unlimited experience. Coca-Cola brand fountain drinks with ice.
Oh, wow.
Hot dogs.
With ice.
With ice. That is right.
Yay,
you
no
get
warm soda.
free ice with your free
You're
soda.
so gracious.
Hot dogs.
Free ice or 3 ice?
1, 2, 3.
That'll be all for
When you
you.
finish
Keep
that,
moving.
you can come back and get more.
Those are the little ones.
Yeah, it's the little
it's
the
the pellet.
Yeah, it's the little pellet ones. Room temperature Coca-Cola products. Hot dogs, chicken tenders, bratwurst, nachos.
This is a good deal.
It specifies the nachos are just the chips
3
and cheese
chips.
ones.
Yes,
The
3
chips and cheese ones. You don't get the
chips.
meat. You don't get the
One little dollop of
jalapenos.
cheese per chip.
French fries, popcorn, peanuts, kettle chips, and ice cream cups.
This is great.
Here's the best part.
Do you
The
get to go
tickets-
into the stadium?
Do you get to go
Like
into
you get
the-
a seat with that $29?
Yeah, in Big Mac Land.
In Big Mac Land.
This is specifically for Big Mac Land.
It's a great deal.
Sections 271 and 272. Here's the best part. The tickets start as low as $29.
That's crazy.
$29 for this value. They are going to vary, obviously, on availability, opponent,
pricing.
date of matchup. So
very
there's
American.
a world in which, they're a little bit more than that, depending on the demand. I bet the demand, I imagine a Busch Stadium in 2026.
Where there's
that
one
is
full
just
section.
scattered throughout. You got maybe, Big
Mac Land is back again.
It's a June afternoon matinee game. and you got maybe 18,000 people in the stands, but there will not
they're
be
all in
one
Big Mac
open
land.
seat in Big Mac land.
Which is good when the home run gets hit up to Big Mac land and it's not bouncing around like a Plinko disc up there because there's no one to catch it.
I believe that if you catch a home run ball in Big Mac land, you can turn it in for free McDonald's up there.
Everybody gets free McDonald's if you hit a home run.
Is that what happens?
Everybody gets a Big Mac.
Yep.
Everyone.
They need to come up
You
with a
get a Big
promotion.
Mac?
I've gotten
I get a
I've
Big
gotten
Mac.
free
Everyone
sandwiches.
gets a
Or
Big Mac.
I don't know if I've ever actually cashed in. I think we have, but we've been at games where Big Mac land was tapped.
A great promotion would be if it was unlimited food, but it wasn't good stuff. Like, yes, we have bratwurst, but they've been on the grill for like 2-3 days.
It's yesterday's brat.
Yeah, it's it's a deal.
It's stuff that before this year we would
Call
have
it
thrown
extra
away,
innings.
but this year we're keeping just for you,
right?
For a price of $29.
Yeah. We're cutting corners.
I think it's a great
and you're
story.
the beneficiary.
Good job.
It is a genius promotion, in my opinion,
I also
for the
think,
Cardinals.
I will say, I think it's a very family-friendly thing to do as well because when I think about going to the ball game, if I were buying tickets and then buying food for my family of 6, now I have 6 people in my family. That was our choice to have that big of a family. But you're talking about $180 there on a day like this. For our 6, probably $200 after fees. But I'm getting to take my kids to a Cardinals game and feeding them dinner. Now we're saying this might be an actual deal.
There's been frustration in the past over, the tickets continue to climb in price even though the team's not doing very good. Like, there's a lack of sensitivity as to where the organization's at. This is a very, hey, we're understanding of where we're at. We want you guys to be here. We want you to enjoy games, knowing that, the product might be a little bit different this year. We still want you to come and enjoy yourself.
I love it. And I have decided, told my husband this. I said, we're watching and cheering for the Cardinals every game. We're going to learn the young people. And Ethan said that we'll be maybe good in 2028, but baseball also might be over for good in 2027. So that was yesterday's news.
Do what you want with that info.
X's and Y's next on the Annie Frey Show.
Of Kaufman Townsley. When you're injured in a car accident, insurance adjusters are not on your side. They're always adjusting their settlement offers, lower and lower. We'll get your settlement higher and higher. Call 314-777-7777.
License number GL250000615.
Hey, it's good to see you.
2 sounds that can wreck your sleep. A drip and a toilet that won't stop running.
Drip, drip, all night.
Good news. We're doing plumbing now. Same folks, same care, same we do it right.
Leaky faucet, running toilet.
Or a stubborn clog, call Grasser.
Electric and plumbing, the Grasser way.
Green is always Grasser at GrasserHomeservices.com.
It's that time of year to refresh those tired, stained, and worn-out carpets for spring. Call Carpet Guy Home Services with deals starting as low as $39.95. Our professional cleaning will bring your carpets back to life. For all your home cleaning services, schedule online at www.callcarpetguy.com.
What's up, world? It's Von Miller, Super Bowl MVP, chicken farmer, and now host of Free Range. This is a show where I go off the field and off the script. We're talking what's hot in music, film, trending news, and everything blowing up your feed. If you love football, you'll feel at home. But if you're here for the vibes, the internet deep dives, the conversation, this is your podcast. Join me every Wednesday. Follow and listen to Free Range with me, Von Miller, everywhere you get your podcast.
What if every time you spent money, you saved money too? With Achieve It Checking from Together Credit Union, you can do just that. Every debit card purchase is rounded up to the nearest dollar, and the spare change goes right into your savings. And here's the best part. Together Credit Union boosts your progress by matching qualifying savings up to $8 a month. It's a free checking account that helps you achieve more automatically. Learn more, or better yet, enroll today at togethercu.org. Together Credit Union, federally insured by NCUA.
When it comes to lighting, Graybar goes beyond parts and products. We help contractors turn plans into smart designs, manage kitting and deliverables, and navigate local codes so you can stay on time and on budget. Smart, scalable, job site ready. That's not just lighting. That's like kicking your project into Graybar mode. Yep, Graybar does that.
Today's YouTube live chat poll is: what news story do you feel is being most undercovered? Is it fraud, Epstein files, election integrity, or aliens? One comment I'm going to highlight here from Chris says, I picked fraud. After that, it would be election, then Epstein. So he does not care about the aliens.
Please.
There's one right now. It is 2:35. This time check is sponsored by Jerry Kelly Heating, Air Conditioning, Electrical, and Plumbing.
It's time for a $98 furnace tune-up.
JerryKelly.com.
From the gateway to the airwaves. 97.1 FM Talk. St. Louis Conservative. X's and Y's.
Welcome back to the Annie Frey Show. We're going to talk about the difference between boys and girls, X's and Y's. That's what it's all about. Can I ask the first question?
Your show, Annie.
I don't know. Trisha?
Will somebody ask Ethan?
Yeah?
Yes.
Okay.
He's really the one in charge
I guess
here.
go ahead.
Ethan, can I go? We'll wait.
Give him like that thumbs in the middle. What's that?
What is the most annoying thing that you think is collectively about the opposite sex? Like, what is the most annoying thing that you think all, if not most, women do? And then also men. This is a
What
very
is the most annoying thing?
Yeah, like the most annoying thing. I'm going to scoop you guys and say that I'm taking this off the table, that the opposite sex won't pick where to go to dinner.
That's that I don't know that that's so that's not, you're saying that's not just women. That's whoever you're with will always say that.
I just this is going to turn into a whole conversation about picking where to go to dinner.
Okay.
I think that men whine and moan about women not picking where to go to dinner when a lot of women would like to just be swept off their feet and taken to dinner. So, like, you could solve your own problem. But if your wife is so unsatisfied with where you sweep her off her feet and take her to dinner, I don't think the dinner is the problem. But I digress. It could be a super simple petty thing. I feel like men. I was explaining this to my daughter last night. This is kind of where this came from. I don't think men. This is going to sound insulting, but hear me all the way out. Men don't have extra thoughts. I feel like I was trying to explain to my daughter about a situation, not about Ryan.
Oh. You were pointing, Annie.
No, I'm gesturing.
Ryan has no thoughts going on right now.
I explain it this way. I said women have more than extra thoughts. We have too many thoughts. So we, on the other hand, are thinking way too much about pretty much everything all the time. I would actually prefer to live the life that I think men live. Maybe that's too stereotypical, and that's kind of the point, is for us to say inflammatory things right now that make us fight with each other because it's good radio. I thought a lot about it.
Sure did. Gee whiz.
Hey, Ryan, you got some drool on your face. You're just sitting over there. Anyway, I was trying to explain that, now we're talking about men and boys when I'm talking to my daughter about a different before anybody gets ahead of it, non-romantic relationship, just the way girls are and the way boys are. I'm like, when you're thinking that a boy is doing something a particular way, you've thought way more about this than that boy ever thought about it. They just acted. And I said, God made men to be like, war, I'm going to kill that person. And if a woman did it, she'd be thinking a lot about it to the point where she might be like, I don't know if I want to do this, which means that we're biologically different. And I just don't think that men have a lot of extra thoughts. And I think that women tend to have all of the extra thoughts. But when you're trying to get something done and you ask a man an opinion and they don't have any thought about said thing at all, that's actually an honest assessment sometimes. I famously asked my husband when we were dating, what are you thinking about right now? And he'll pause and be like, nothing. And I'm like, that's factually not true. You're supposed to lie and say, I'm thinking about you, Annie. It never happened. It was always, nothing. Like when you go fishing, what do you think about? Nothing. And that's why he goes fishing. You know what I'm saying?
Nothing important.
No?
No, I don't think I'm ever thinking about nothing. I'm thinking about nothing important pretty often. But to answer your question.
Most annoying thing women do.
It is expecting men to read into everything. So it's kind of related.
It's the opposite.
Yeah, but it's not the exact same thing. It is that women...
Are you talking about things between men and women, or just women are thinking a lot about a situation and you don't have the same interpretation of said situation because you haven't thought about it?
No clue what you just said. And I'm not even kidding.
No extra thoughts.
Are you
Trisha,
talking about
follow?
they want you to predict what it is that they want, and they want you to think about it and do the thing?
I don't know, but...
Right.
In a romantic sense, it's I want him to think about getting me flowers or to put a lot of thought in this.
Ryan doesn't have to do that. I tell him to do it for Katie all the time.
No, it's more just that they want you to think about everything on 5 levels instead of 1 or maybe 2.
When 1 or 2 maybe will,
1 or 2 is
will
fine.
suffice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm going deep for you if I'm going to 2.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not enough.
And it's like a way of thinking, because if we're on something and we're talking about something, there's a whole box of stuff that we get out and we sit down and we're like, all right, we're talking about this. And then you're like, okay, let's go on another level. And that level isn't in that box. That's in a different box. So you got to pick that box up, put it away, go over, get the other box that's on the 3rd level, and start talking about it in that level.
It's not, though, Trisha, like thinking on the whatever we're talking about, compartmentalizing thinking. Women don't do that. We handle lots of things at once. But it's not like handling the 3rd, 4th, and 5th thing is. I think it would be unfair to assume that women are just worrying about those things. We're just planning. Mm-hmm. And some of the planning might involve some worrying.
Conniving.
Why are you planning, though?
Well, you just stopped. Okay.
Got
Thought you were going to bulldoze through that.
No, I wanted you to sit and think about what you'd done.
I don't do that.
That's called being passive-aggressive, which I thought would be something that maybe you guys would suggest that women do more.
I don't
that's
love
fine.
where you're headed with this.
I wasn't even talking about what you did. You just injected an insult because you didn't think enough about what you were going to say. I mean, like, what I hear you guys saying is you don't need to think about the 3rd and 4th and 5th thing, but it sounds like you're implying that the 3rd and 4th, 5th thing is about the first thing. It's just option 3, 4, and 5, when actually, Trisha, I would say we're thinking about Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday instead of 5 different ways to handle Monday.
Just many, many thoughts going on. Yeah. Is that...
What is your answer to that question? What about guys annoys you?
They have a really hard time finding the laundry basket.
Ooh, you just got to leave the lid off.
I'll tell you something
What do
that
you mean
annoys
she has to leave the lid off?
There are no lids.
Oh, well, I don't know what
And
to
there
tell
is
you.
still a pot.
What kind of fancy
Trisha,
laundry baskets do you have?
Lid off must be in box number 3. Can't quite get there.
Haven't gotten there. Sorry.
I'll tell you
I'm
this.
trying to be less
This annoys
annoying.
me about guys, and I am a guy, but I know it's true. And if I were a girl, I'd be
The
like, yeah,
farts.
that annoys me. No, the farts are
Or
fun.
toots in Annie's house.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like, that's a nice stew.
What?
But what annoys me
The
is when
stew at
you
Ryan's
go to
house.
the store and she's like, here's the list. And you even have a list. It's not even you have to remember it.
This
There's
is
a
about
list.
this is you saying this is a complaint about men.
Yeah, it's a complaint about me. Go to the store with a list, and you get there, and you're like, what kind of beefaroni? I don't know. I don't even care.
Do you
So I'm
panic?
going to pick one up, and I know what's going to happen. I'm going to get it home, and it's
wrong
not
one.
the right one. And that annoys me.
About you?
Yeah.
Why didn't she just ask her?
You know what annoys me about women? It's never the right type of beefaroni. That's my answer to your question.
Why don't you just say, "Hey, Mrs. Wiggins, what kind of beefaroni did you want?"
I can, but then you text for the whole time you're walking through the shopping
Third level
aisle.
thinking.
Isn't that a little bit better than coming home and getting the wrong beefaroni?
It's close.
How many different...
Maybe beefaroni was a euphemism for something.
It might have
Maybe
been.
that's why.
When you
Maybe
get
this whole
home, I'll
time
make
she's
you
been asking
beefaroni.
for something, and you keep showing up with great value beefaroni.
What are you talking about then? But that's what I mean.
But you
gotta
said
go 3 levels.
beefaroni.
You gotta go
I said
multiple levels?
beefaroni.
What are you talking about? We already had dinner. Now, if you were to ask for beef steak,
Then you know.
then that was 2 levels deep. I'd get that one.
Little
Beefaroni.
eggplant emoji.
Yeah.
He comes home with a basket of eggplant.
Hey, everybody! I brought you eggplant and beef steak and 3 or 4 different pork tenderloins. Hoping you get the message. I don't know why I addressed that to everybody.
The kids are in bed.
Yeah,
What?
I said
thought
I'm-
this was for dinner.
Yeah,
Next question. Somebody else go.
Trisha.
Are men better at letting things go than women?
Ooh, that's
Fred?
probably to the person.
Just letting it go? I don't think so.
I would generally though. Generally,
I would say we're better at hashing it out, and then once we've come to an arrangement, then it's that. But just to ignore it and let it go, I'm not good at that.
That's a pretty good answer. I was going to say yes, in general, guys are, but I would say guys are quicker to just get
through
and get
it.
it
Yeah.
done and get over it than girls are. Girls do not want to address it as quickly.
Guys throw down, then they have a beer, then we're cool.
Yeah. Me and Brad have had 25 fistfights.
Yeah.
Because they can't get over it.
We just
They're
we
all
have it
different
out.
things. It's never the same thing.
Yeah. Usually I use my feet. He comes at me, and I just sit on my back and I kick.
His little knuckles with his toes.
That's the most disgusting thing I've ever heard in my life. Thinking about Brian's toe knuckles? Oh.
That's the name of my
I'm
restaurant.
never going to get over that. Do men or women get over things faster? I don't think it's a gender thing. Because I think there's some things that you shouldn't get over to an extent. But I know women who have held grudges. I know men who have held grudges. And I also know women who are just super easygoing and ready to move on. And I don't know that it's one or the other. Did you say men hold on to them longer?
No. So they don't. Get over it quicker. All right, here's another question. How much does it matter whether a guy smells good or bad?
It matters if he smells
If
bad.
he smells bad, that's an issue.
But what does he have to smell good though?
I don't encounter people and think about the way they smell.
Let me present this situation. I have a friend who has really...
Pretty soon he's going to speak in the first person, folks. Get ready for it.
Has really bought into the au natural, don't take a lot of showers, kind of like really into skin health and keeping the oil of the skin.
Does he smell bad?
He does not smell bad, but he does have
Does
a
he smell earthy?
Yes.
Does it smell bad?
No.
Then it doesn't matter.
But he smells like him. And I want to know...
Do you want to smell like him?
No, I do not.
Why?
Because it smells like him, and I'm not him.
You're sounding
Yeah, it doesn't sound like you're
like
saying.
you're not complimenting his scent.
It's either got to be neutral or good.
So it is a turn off for sure if a guy smells. He's out there working, and you're like, oh, he comes in and
It's
it
not.
smells
It's
bad.
not. I wouldn't call it a turn off if my husband is working his butt off and he smells like he's been working. But if we're like getting ready to go to church and I smell him, and he's like, "What? I worked really hard 2 days ago." I'm not going to be like,
"But I'm earthy now."
Oh man,
So
I'm wearing
roll
hemp.
with it.
Yeah. Did you say hemp?
Uh-huh.
Oh God. I think that smelling good is nice, but I also don't think that I don't want to like be inundated with who do I smell? You know, like I don't want it to be a leading factor in the discussion.
Okay.
There should be kind of an aroma, but not a
You want your man to be aromatic, but not
acrobatic.
nasty.
Maybe a little acrobatic.
We'll talk more about that with Trisha when we come back on X's and Y's. Don't go away. Home Shield Foundation Repairs.com is the website. If you have a basement that is leaking water, if you know that moisture is getting into the inside of your house, you've got a problem. You know this already. You see the rain has been in the forecast and it freaks you out because you know that you're going to have to deal with that in the basement. Let me talk to you about maybe mom and dad's house where it's an older home and the structure, the foundational structure it's lacking. You know that something needs to be done, but you're not really 100% sure what it is. You can call Matt Hayes and ask him to come out and look at that foundation so you can know what you're dealing with. He's a great guy. He's a nice guy. He's easy to talk to and incredibly experienced at ensuring that foundations are repaired and restored to the way they need to be so that you can go on with your life and not have to fret every time the weather forecast has rain in it. If you want to give him a call to come out and look at the foundation concern that you have, 314-271-9900. Call 314-271-9900 and invite Matt Hayes out to check out the situation. You'll be glad you did. HomeshieldFoundationRepairs.com.
Mark Cox here. Join me for the annual Lincoln Trump Day dinner with the St. Charles County Republican Central Committee, March 20th at Old Hickory Golf Club. Enjoy dinner, great guests, and a gun raffle. Learn more at 971talk.com/events.
Hey, it's Mark Reardon for the Doctors at Ophthalmology Associates. We call them the Doctors because they've treated more than 250 doctors, more than any other practice in St. Louis. So if you're looking for the best doctors for your best vision, it's Ophthalmology Associates. Doctors Greg Birdie, Ranjan Malhotra, Robert Brusati, and Andy Royer. Doctors Birdie and Malhotra are cornea surgeons and experts in the diagnosis and treatment of diseases of the eye. I had an eye disease when I was younger. It left me with a silicone buckle around my right eye, so I put my trust in Ophthalmology Associates to take care of my annual annual checkups. Maybe you're experiencing dry eye, allergy eyes. They can help. They can help with cataracts, macular degeneration, glaucoma, and LASIK surgeries. And if you're looking for the best eye care, it's Ophthalmology Associates. Make an appointment today by calling 314-966-5000 or online at yourEyeDoc.com. They have a great office location just west of 270 on Manchester Road. Again, the phone number, 314-966-5000. The website, yourEyeDoc.com. Ophthalmology Associates.
If you can sense spring in the air, you're not alone. It's a perfect time to get Corel Roofing Company to come over and give you a free roofing inspection. Mark Cox here. You know, my friend Curtis has been at this a long time. Here's what he can do. If your insurance company has denied coverage for your roof, call Curtis. He specializes in working with insurance companies. You can get a second assessment from them, and often they're able to work with that insurance adjuster to find a way to get it covered. They are honest. They're going to give you a true evaluation of what's going on. Curtis is not going to overcommit on your roofing job. A lot of other companies do this. Curtis feels like quality suffers and customer service drops off. It's important to pay attention to details. Quality materials, quality workmanship. It's certainly what I got when Corel Roofing put a brand new roof on my house. Call 314-222-9529 right now. Tell them Mark Cox told you to call, or go to CorelRoofingCo.com.
The Annie Frey Show is St. Louis conservative.
Welcome back to the Annie Frey Show. Fox News reports Trump Commerce Secretary Howard Lutnick is going to testify in the House Epstein probe, according to Chairman Comer. So that news just released. We'll stay tuned to find out more about that. A little wrap up here on X's and Y's. Before we get to the results of today's YouTube live chat poll, what news story do you feel is being most undercovered? Fraud, the Epstein files, election integrity, or aliens? Brad, you didn't ask a question yet. What's yours?
My question is, have you, this is just for the ladies, Ryan, you can answer if you want. Have you ever had hair extensions?
No.
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 Not a great question.
Not opposed to it, but no.
Have I considered it? Yes.
Legit. Every time this comes up, I tell you, St. Louis, if you are a hair replacement place, Ryan would like to work with you.
Yeah, I would like to work with you.
I would like that too, for Ryan to work with you.
Exactly. How should they contact you? At Radio Wiggins on X?
Yeah. Yeah, that's fine.
Can we make the whole discussion as public as possible?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Did you have another question, Ryan?
Yeah, I do. Do you like when guys wear jewelry of any kind?
Don't mind it. Don't need it.
Don't need it.
I like a nice watch.
Does it do something for the allure or austere man?
If you have a watch on that is a nice watch, I think it makes me think that you have to manage time. You probably have somewhere you need to be. It's a good sign. And if it looks good, it looks good.
What about the brand of the watch or look of the watch?
Don't care. I think if it looks nice, but I'm not like, is that a Rolex or not?
Necklaces? Rings?
I don't know, Trisha. I would say rings maybe appear to be a little extra high maintenance, assuming outside of a wedding band. But just because you like nice things, it's just kind of how you pull it off.
Yeah, it really
A
depends
chain.
on the person. I'm mostly a no on men's jewelry.
Silk Step says light jewelry, but not Mr. T style.
Kind of where I was headed.
I'm the opposite.
Yeah, I like
Yeah.
a nice big grill on a woman.
All the big chains.
I'm not opposed to it, but I mean, it's like if I don't need it to be flashy. Subtle is good. But I'd say that about pretty much everything.
So no huge clock on a
No, I said I like a man to know what the time is.
See?
It's an expensive watch.
That's kind of what I'm saying.
That's why I'm obsessed with Flava Flav. Trisha, did you have another question real quick?
Yeah, for men, is it scary to search for things in your house? If your wife says, bring me the scissors, are you scared? Or you say, I can't find the scissors, and she says, let me go look.
And
Are
do you experience with
nervous?
regularity it not being where she says it is until she walks up and it appears exactly where she said it was?
That
Cold
is fact.
Sweat breaks out.
Yes. To answer your question, Trisha, yes. It is nerve-wracking when you can't find it. And she goes, it's in the drawer to the left of the dishwasher.
Is it exactly where she said it was?
80% of the time.
Do you
Man,
have
that 20% is sweet.
I was just saying, do you have great satisfaction where you're like,
Oh, my gosh.
Oh,
Yeah.
I thought you said it was behind the mayonnaise. It's not.
It's really a
really behind the
tightrope to
mustard.
walk when it happens, though. Because then you're like, oh, interesting. Oh, it's like, do you make a big deal out of it, or do you subtly make a big deal out of it?
If you're Jared, you just kind of smirk. And that's all. It's just like, I know you know that I know. Moving on.
It all depends on how she reacts whenever you can't find it.
Yeah.
If she rubs your nose in it.
If it's a thing, it's because the last 10 times you tried to find something, she had to get up and get it because you couldn't find it. Mm-hmm. And it was exactly why is this a phenomena?
I don't know.
I don't know how you guys pull it out of the ether like that, though.
It's the refrigerator thing.
I think you guys panic. I think that in your this is bad for being battle tested. No. You need to be able to stay calm and collected. When you go in,
not panic.
You need. I think you're nervous about about not being able to find it, and she's gonna walk in and it shows up.
I'm not saying I'm not nervous, but I'm not saying that's why we're not finding it.
I think you're in sheer panic.
We're
just
like,
want the thing.
What news story do you feel is being most undercover? We've got 236 votes today. 6% say aliens, 11% say Epstein files, 22% election integrity, and a vast majority, 61%, say fraud. Only 11%, about 1 in 10 of our audience think the Epstein files are being underserved in their coverage right now. I find that to be interesting. Did find out Lutnick is going to have to testify, though, so that'll be in the storylines here soon. Keep it right here on 97.1. Mark Reardon Show next.
Time now for today's Spotlight on Money, sponsored by Ethos.
Your kids need to know artificial intelligence in order to be prepared for the working world.